Hey everyone, from me, Brent Graham of Good for the Game. Well, this is our first ever watch along. We picked what we consider to be the game of the weekend. It's Australia up against Fiji. And straight away, I've just bought my Super Brew picks up here because this is going to be absolutely huge for Super Brew. A lot of guys may not know what Super Brew is, but it's basically a prediction competition. And if you can get all of the games right in a given round, you get 2 bonus points. And this is the only game of this round. Let's face it, we've had massive victories where you could get something, you could get a result going either way. Now, I'm going to pop onto my Super Brew page here quickly just before we get started because I don't want to forget about this. And just going down there, I did pretty well. I hit a few margin points. And I've just got to find the Australia game is down here somewhere. I hit 3 margin points in a row. I was very upset last game. I had South Africa by 76, and I changed directly at the last moment, which was a bit of a pity. So that I missed the bonus there. But I had Australia by 8, but guys, I'm doing a swing here. I think Australia's injuries are going to count against them. I think this Fijian side is going to beat Australia today. So I'm going to change this, and I love to tempt fate. I mean, you could just see how this could go pear-shaped for me. But I'm actually going to go for Fiji to win this one by 8 points. I'm going to do a total switch around. Let's just make sure that it goes through, and then we can start talking a little bit of betting. I'll leave the Super Brew open. We can maybe have a look at the end how things have gone. But yes, I think we've got that right. Welcome, as I said, thanks to Betxchange for sponsoring. We are going to be giving away 5 200 vouchers during the show. I'm going to be doing that by lucky draw. We'll have the first one in the first water break, which I'm assuming they will take. And just to let you know, the players are on the field now and the anthems are going at the moment. Good to see some guys watching in the live chat already. I did see Mark Dunphy, always a great regular of our show. He says, are we ready for a great game? Mark, we most certainly are. Gerald Williams, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Australia going into this as underdogs now might suit them. And you're not far off the mark there. You know, I did a survey on Twitter. It was about a 50% split as to who would win this game. Bear in mind, there was plus 9.5, plus 8.5 Fiji available a week ago. The money has certainly come for the Fijians here. And you think we'll see a few cards? Yes, I think we probably will, Gerald. And one other thing that I am hoping to see, and I'll just quickly pull up my bets here. And I'm hoping to see points, particularly for Fiji. I've gone Fiji over 22.5 points, and I've got over 51.5 total points. So I'll leave those bets scrolling down the bottom at some stage as well, so people can understand what I'm on there. And let's just get a few formalities out the way. If you do enjoy these sort of shows, let us know as well. We're not going to do them for every game, and if people don't enjoy them or it doesn't work out, obviously we won't carry on. But I think it could be something different. There are a lot of guys who do this on YouTube. They've got some quite good followings, and we'll focus more on the betting angle. I'll do a bit of commentary. I'm looking at some of these Fijian names. You might hear me say things like, and he passes to the Fijian number 5 or something along those lines. Just to mention how we're going to do the 200 betting battles, all you got to do is make a comment in the live chat, any comment, and you will be entered. You will only be entered once, so you're not going to win 3 of the 5 vouchers. And you just have to email me, brent@goodforthegame.co.za, and we'll organize those for you early in the week. There is a link to TNCs in the description box below. It's the Aussie anthem now, so we're getting very close to the start. Let's just quickly run through the outright betting for the World Cup. This is at Betxchange. 28-10 South Africa, France 3-1, New Zealand 4-1, and the Irish 9-2. I don't think we would have had a lot of change. I'm not going to change the page now, but I don't think we would have had a lot of change on this after the Box game. The Box, of course, putting in a pretty impressive victory there in wet conditions. And just to have a look at the Betxchange boost, you won't be able to get on the Aussie-Fiji one now. It was 51.5 points and minus 5.5 points. And then we got England-Japan just for later, minus 22.5 England, and the points is 51.5. We're now going to go to Fiji's Haka, which is going to be coming up now. And I'm going to bring Betxchange's live feed up. That was all I wanted to cover as far as these slides go. So yeah, any live, and I'll set up scrolling down below. But basically, any live comment, and you will be entered into that draw. If you know any mates who might enjoy it, please invite them along to watch the game with us as well. It's kind of weird for me also now watching without commentary and stuff like that. And as I say, name-wise, I'm not the greatest when it comes to names. Even when you'll notice my betting previews, I don't mention too much as far as teams go, but we'll hopefully be able to commentate for you. Darth Vader coming in. Now, Darth Vader, He's gone Australia by 16 in Super Brew. Now, Darth Vader is leading our Super Brew pool. And I must tell you that Super Brew pool, the reason I was quite tense about it is we've all put in 500 Rand. We got 154 guys playing. So we're playing for some serious Tom. Altino saying, great win by South Africa. 100% agree, Altino. It was, at the end of the day, it wasn't perfect, but it was certainly the way they just overpowered that Romanian side. And I must admit, what a disappointment this Romanian side are, right? I mean, geez, they are disappointing. Okay, we've had the Fiji haka now. The boys are warming up, rubbing shoulders up against each other, and it's time for the action to begin. Werner coming in saying, go Fiji. Werner, I'm with you, my mate. And that's the other thing, guys. I got money on this game. I'm not going to be that impartial, although, I mean, I've got both teams to score. Actually, I've got the Aussies as well. And I've also got a long-term Australian bet. But you're not going to see a hell of a lot of impartiality for me on this one. It's going to be heart on sleeve type of stuff. I want this Fiji over 22.5 to arrive. I must say conditions do look good. Field looks pretty good. Shade coming over the field at the moment. So let's see what happens. I've got this Betxchange tracker here. And if I scroll down, we'll also be able to see the latest betting. So we'll keep an eye on that in the show. I've also might have the odd person come and join me to have a bit of a chat during the game as well. We'll see how that goes. Right, we've got kickoff about to happen now. Australians look like they are going to be kicking off. And I'll just confirm that. Joey's saying he backed Fiji plus 5.5. What do you think? Like it, Joey. I considered Betxchange boost, even money Fiji plus 5.5. I'm making the cardinal error of letting my Super Brew swing me a bit. I'm almost just happy if they win and I get my Super Brew. But I think that plus 5.5 is actually a cracking bet. Right, we're almost all set. Australia kicking off to Fiji. And let's get going with our first ever Good for the Game watch along powered by Betxchange. Wait patiently for kickoff. Looks to me as though we're actually at, a couple of minutes over already. Let me just check that I am live and haven't paused the TV or something ridiculous. Right, we are live at the moment. If you see the odd paper flash up in front of me, I just got the team names here because, as I say, I should be pretty good with the Aussies, but some of these Fijian names I'm not too strong on at all. Right, Australia going to kick off. Typical kickoff, sort of into the 22. Fiji coming underneath it, takes it down. It looks like it's the 8th man. Simoli Kurukoveli. I'm going to really bat with some of the pronunciations, I think. And Fiji got it controlled. Referee points to the Fijian scrum off to use it, and he clears from the base of the 22. Hasn't gone out to touch. It's been taken by Australia. Carter Gordon, but a big tackle by the Fijians coming in there. Nick White playing at scrum. He feeds. Couldn't see the number on the back there, but he feeds the Australians sort of picking up close to the halfway line, just running it next to the maul at the moment. The referee's arm goes out. We got an early penalty for Australia here. Korobetti takes it in, and the referee brings him back. Just thought maybe, wasn't too sure. I thought Patea might look injured there, but I think it's just his shoelaces that he's doing. That wouldn't be good news for Australia. So some pretty hard hits going in. Ooh, only inches away from being looked at, I guess you would say. I always say in rugby, there's such a fine line these days between a dangerous tackle and a clean tackle. At the end of the day, there was a penalty, and Ben Donaldson's going to kick down into the Fijian 22, and he finds a pretty decent touch about 5 meters inside the Fijian 22. Eddie Jones, picture goes over to him. Lots of pressure on Eddie. I mean, if Australia loses this game, they're not out of it. But at the same time, they really can't afford to lose it. Fiji, if they lose, they are gone. It goes to the back. Valetini brings it in, and they peel round, and it's Angus Bell who takes it in. I must say, always impressed with him. He makes good yards against the Fijians there. Australia hot on the attack here in the 22 in the early stages. Bit of a bobble there, but it didn't go backwards. Valetini got the ball now, runs it into the Fijian attack. Fiji trying to hold him up off the ground, but the ref's paw's gone out. This is going to be a penalty to Australia and a guaranteed 3 points. Fiji do hold it up, but unfortunately for them, they're going to concede the 3 here. And we're going to see Ben Donaldson have a shot at post. Let's go down and have a look. Wouldn't expect much betting change at this stage. We've got a handicap here at the moment of -8.5 Australia. So there has actually been, in fact, -6.5. That's one thing about online betting and in running betting. It can get pretty hectic the way the prices change. I normally like to wait for breaks in play, but we've got -6.5 there. currently at 9. They're betting basically 9 to 10 the pair, which is quite good for in running. I must tell you, a lot of bookies go 17 to 20 the pair, and even less sometimes. Look, I'm giving this guy the 3 points. It's very much in front of the sticks, and there should be absolutely no problem. It's inside the 22, and Donaldson should give Australia the lead. Am I going to regret that Super Brew pick? I wonder. Well, it certainly looks as though I might. Right, Donaldson going to see if he can give Australia the lead. It's currently just coming up to the end of the 3rd minute. And what I will do, in fact, because this, as I say, I'll pick up things as I go along here. Let me put the score on a banner that scrolls down below, and then I can just correct that. Aussie 3, yep, there it goes over. Australia 3 and Fiji 0. I just want to make that one that it scrolls, and that's it. We'll have to figure out how to get a proper scoreboard in that up sometime as well. Anyway, we've got Australia leading, Fiji 3-0 at the moment in the early stages, and it's going to be Fiji to kick off to the Aussies. And let's see where this goes. It's deep into the 22 as well, sort of midway into the 22. Australia take it. Is that panned out? I think it's Valentini there who's taken that one. And a very solid start here by Australia. Carter Gordon going to kick. He's allowed to kick direct to touch there, and he does find his touch. So we'll get our first look now at the Fijian lineout, see how that goes. So far, pretty solid from Australia. A little bit concerning for us Fiji backers at this stage. So we've got Australia 3, Fiji 0, and just having a look at the betting here, minus 6.5 still. Fiji take a nice clean lineout. They don't maul it. They break off quickly. Running physically is at, looks like number 7, Levani Botia. He is a very, very strong player indeed. And Fiji now swinging the ball. They're on the 10-meter line of Australia. It looks like Australia might have got over this one. No, Fiji going again. A big, strong run. I can't see the number at this point. They've gone inside now, the 10-meter line of Australia. Swinging it through the hands, Fiji. A bit of a dodge pass there, but goes out to the right winger. And so far, Fiji controlling the ball fairly well. Scrum off trying to milk a penalty. Ref having none of it at this stage. And they take it back in this time through Lakime Tatitavula. I'm interested to see how my pronunciation goes as we go on. I did have 2 beers during the Springboks game, I must tell you. So we'll have to see how that goes. It's gone out to touch now. And Radradra, interesting to see him on the wing. I know he moved into Tosova, coming in at centre, and Radradra moving to the left wing. So, geez, they've got a potent backline, this Fijian side. Absolutely powerful and potent backline. But we'll have a look. I just want to see who got the line out here. Tackles, hard hits. They're just showing a few replays. It's going to be plenty of physicality in the. And once again, I'm just seeing, Korobetia tackle. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's such a fine line between having sort of a high tackle and a potential penalty. We've got the Fijian line out just inside their own half. Put in, it's comfortably taken at the front of the lineup. They just quickly again. It's a long pass out to the centres. They got a bit of space out wide now. They can turn it. The captain makes a run into the Australian half, and it's a quick ball and another run there. We've got the hooker now going, Samuel Matavesi, and the forwards are controlling it. That captain, that number 13 of that Wasaya Naya Salobu, he's a brilliant player. Fiji got a bit of room here. They swing it wide. They're onto the 10-meter line again. The Australian defence holding, but definitely making a few yards there. I think it was the 8th-man Mata who made the yards. Fiji running hard, looking good at this point. And they're still recycling the ball. They're still between the 10-meter and the 22. A bit of a reckless pass. I think it was forward. And unfortunately, Fiji give away possession there. Australia are going to have the put into the scrum midway between the 22 and their 10-meter line. So, we've had quite a hectic start. I see a couple more people coming into the live chat. Chris saying he feels a try coming here. Chris, who have you gone for? I'm assuming if you're saying you feel a try that you're maybe on Fiji like I am. And Boss is saying Fiji by a few. So, going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. Remember, if you make a comment in the live chat, you're automatically entered into the 200 Rand betting voucher draw, which we'll do during the first one we'll do during the water break. And talking of water, I better drink some water because I'm not used. I do talk a lot, but I'm not used to talking this much. Right, they're packing down now. Nick White feeding the ball in to the scrum for Australia. And it looks a very solid Australian scrum there. He gets it out quickly, plays it out. Battle to see. My eyes are not so hot with that faraway camera angle. It looks like Tom Hooper carrying the ball in there. Nick White goes for the up and under from his own half. He stuck it up. This is very contestable. And, I think possibly an Australian knock on there. But no, gone out. Referee said play on. It's gone out to touch now. I think we'll have an Australian line out just inside the Fiji half. Sums up my betting without stats. Very wrong there. Yeah, Chris. I know that feeling. I'm worried I made my Super Brew tick. I changed my Super Brew. I'm pretty worried about that as well. Right, just having a look now at the replays again. And it's 3-0. We do have a scrum. So Australia did knock it on. It was Marky Mark knocked it on there, looking for it. Nawaka Tiwase. He's actually even harder to pronounce than the Fijians. He knocked it on going for the high ball. He is brilliant under the high ball, and certainly something that Fiji are going to have to watch. This is one of my pet hates about rugby, when the scrums reset all the time. Let's go and have a look if we can get a total points line here, what's happening at the moment. Under and over 40, under that, that's a high price. I forget how Betxchange do their prices. The points line at the moment is 51.5, just gone 8 to 10 overs, and close on even money under 51.5 at this point. So, yeah, I do fancy points in this game, and I'm certainly hoping that Fiji get going fairly soon. They seem to have a solid scrum there. And number 9, Kuravali, is waiting. I think they're trying to milk a penalty. I don't think it's going to come, though. The ref is going to reset the scrum. I think Fiji were a bit optimistic there if they thought the ref was going to give them a penalty in that one. As you can see, the screen moving all the time there. That, of course, is the betting. So let's go up here, and we can have a look at scrum awarded to Fiji. So they'll reset the scrum. Guys, we're into the 10th minute now. It's 3-0 to Australia. I'd say that this game hasn't really opened up properly yet, but you just get the feeling at some point that it is going to. And Kuraveli is going to feed the ball into the scrum. I mean, this is where you want to be on unders, man. I tell you, the scrum probably started 90 seconds ago, and we're still scrumming the same old scrum here. So let's see what happens. Looks like a decent set. And Kuravali feeds it in. Nice solid Fiji scrum, I must say. The Fiji guy went down there. I think they're pretty lucky there. I would have said that could have been a penalty. No, the backline are running it now. And out it goes to the right winger, Wankulo. And he makes a nice little dart inside. A massive hard run there. Who was that coming in at absolute speed? This is the way Fiji have got to play loose. When I say loosen it up, just keep the ball moving, but keep on going hard and at speed. There goes the ref's arm. We've got a penalty to Fiji. Oh, the scrum, he milks it bad. And he actually was almost away for the try. But the referee, I think, deciding there that, yeah, no, buddy, if you want to milk the penalty, you can have it. You're not getting a try out of that. Chris saying, not betting this game, but points look low considering the weather. Yes, Chris, I have a bit of an interest in 51.5, but my main interest very much on Fiji. I hate it when scrum halves do that, milking the penalty. I mean, he passed it. The guy's lying there. The ref's already put his arm out. You've got the penalty coming. So, yeah, bit of a pity. Afternoon, Brent says, Shane, of course, coming in from Ireland. Are you looking at it in-play total overs? Shane, I'm already on overs. So at this point, no, I'm not going to do anything else. I'll probably assess my position at halftime and hopefully even another punt or two. I did send the link out to a couple of my show guests. I said, if you are around, come on at halftime and we can discuss the betting. But at this point, nothing else for me. But I'm on my Fiji overs. I'm certainly hoping that Kuravali can hit this one over. Quite unusual to see a scrummy kicking for post, although if you watched the last game, you would have seen Faf kicking for post there. And wow, what those 3 tries by Reinach. I had 3-1 that South African would score a hat-trick. So I was absolutely delighted by that. Kept my interest pretty small. Here comes Kuravali now. He's just inside his 10 meter. So he's kicking just over the 10 meter line, but directly in front. He seems to have struck that well. And the flags go up. It's 3-3 at the moment, and we're into the 12th minute. Let's quickly change that. I'm definitely going to have to make a plan. We are going to do future games for keeping the score on there. And we've got a 3-3, and we've basically almost done with the 12th minute. Australia ready to kick off now. Excuse me. And sorry, I put the wrong think those are my bets, though, if anybody was wondering. And that's the score coming at the bottom. Fiji clear out to touch. It's going to be an Australian line out. Carter Gordon with the kickoff there. I must say, Carter Gordon, I preferred him with his mullet. I'm struggling to get used to him without the mullet, if I have to be honest. I did prefer him. Australia throw the ball in, take it down well there. Now, and Australia got a bit of a rolling maul going just inside the 10-meter line. It looks pretty good. Fiji will do well not to concede a penalty. The Wallabies very much in control of this maul at this stage. Nick White, though, is looking for it. They get the ball out. It looks like Korobetti running onto it there. He's pushed hard back, tackled hard back, should I say, by the Fijians. White goes on a little dart on his own. He approaches the 22. He's held up now, but Australia managed to recycle the ball. Looks like one of the props have taken it in there. Korobetti takes scrum off. He plays it to Hooper. White's back in. They're just outside the 22. Australia's continuity in handling looking good. Was that the error, though, that came in? I think certainly it's gone out to touch, and I think the ref says it was possibly forward to touch. Maybe Fiji can have a scrum, but no, I think they've just ruled that it was passed out to touch. A good pressure there from Fiji, putting the guys under quite a bit of pressure. Yeah, nice kick. I think you're referring there to Faf du Plessis, potentially, or not. Chris, maybe I missed something there. But yeah, the South African kicking wasn't great again today. Willemse missing a couple of posts as well. I've got a bit of an injury break at the moment. And Australian prop being just patched up there. It's James Slipper having his ankle strapped. Not a good sign for the Aussies. Of course, they lost two before this game, so already lost one of their props there. So we've got a little bit of a break in play. And oh my word, what? Mark, are you joking? I think you're joking, mate. Let me have a look. Yeah, the book, he's still at the score thrill. Mark, playing with me there, he goes, go Fiji, what a try. And I'm starting to think I'm running a few minutes behind. Love it, Mark. Yeah, you had me panicking for a few seconds there. Fortunately, I've got the live betting up, and I know that if I may be dozing, but the bookies, they're never sleeping. Those feeds are always pretty accurate. You've got a line out here. In fact, they are going to take the scrum. So we should see that. So it was ruled to have gone forward into touch, and Fiji are going to take the scrum. Their scrum has looked solid so far. The scrum taking place just outside their 22 on what I would call the far side of the field as I'm looking at it now. And let's hope so far so good. The scrums have actually, and I'm talking here from a point of view of just not wanting to see collapse scrums all the time. The scrums have looked pretty solid. I wouldn't say that either team has gained ascendancy at this stage. Fiji fancy their chances, and they've had a good scrum there. And what's good? Ref blows it up again. It was at the back. It did collapse in the front. I think it was probably ref maybe just a bit undecided about who might have caused that. And yeah, we're going to scrum down again, and we'll have another scan. I would imagine we got a handicap of about 4.5 here, and exactly 4.5. You got Australia 19-20 and 17-20, the plus 4.5 Fiji. So this game is threatening to be as tight as we thought it was going to be. No real movement to the points line as yet. We've still got 50.5 on the points line there. Hey, Chris saying your stream is well ahead of mine. Are you sure you're not at the stadium? Yeah, I must say these DSTV stream, if I look at it compared to the bookies, and that seems to be pretty good. Funny enough, I'm watching on the DSTV though. If you are streaming here in South Africa, it goes well behind. Yeah, thanks, Mark, for confirming. You're joking there, mate, but a very good one. It certainly had me looking and wondering what's happening. Right, it's fed into the scrum now. Solid scrum by Fiji again, not dominant but solid, and they try and run it out the 22. This is looking promising. It goes out. Is this Radradra on the wing? He is an absolute machine. Oh, he's well tackled. He's very, very well tackled. I think it was by Pataya. It looks like number 13 tackled him there. What this has made me realize, and there's a penalty to Australia, very good getting over the ball. And it's actually Ben Donaldson who wins the turnover there. Australia in their own half have got a penalty to get out. But that was promising by Fiji. A nice attacking, flowing backline movement. I must say I am getting a little bit worried about total points and also Fiji points in this game because, it's been very tight so far. It doesn't look like much between the sides. A nice kick to touch there from Australia. They'll have a line out in the Fiji half, midway between the 22 and the 10-meter line. I tell you what, this has shown me, this exercise of doing this. What it has shown me is I don't recognize the players that well. And when I don't see the numbers, I don't always get it. I thought I knew the Australian players perhaps a little bit better than I did. Anyway, the throw goes in now. It's taken at the back. Australia got some good attacking ball, goes to Carter Gordon. Inside switch to Valentini, who was sitting out in the back line. Valentini's lost it forward. Let's see what Fiji do from here. That's a bit of an awful kick, I've got to say. I think it'll come back. It'll come back for the forward. Fiji absolutely butchering the kick there. And come back. Andrew Brace is terrible. Martin, not a fan of the ref. Hey, yeah, I don't mind Brace. I actually find him one of the better refs. And these days I'm a lot. I don't know. I don't get quite as worked up with the refs as I used to. But yeah, I don't mind Brace. I think he's decent, and as long as he blows a fair game, I guess that's all we can ask for at the end of the day. Anyway, loads of respect for the actual commentators for knowing all of these players' names and that. I'm pretty impressed. Right, let's have a look now. We got the Fiji scrum. This is directly in front of their own posts, about 5 meters outside of their 22. Very little movement on the betting front at this stage. In fact, the betting went down there for a second. I wonder what that means. Are they a bit behind us here, funny enough, that Fiji running it out, and it looks gone out to the right winger there. He's a powerful guy. Oh, he passes straight to Australia's Nick White. So very careless from Fiji at this point. They really have to lift their game, I think. Bit of ping pong there. Not charged down, but kicked into a player. Bottom line, Australia in their own half, but looking pretty good with ball in hand. They go through the back line. It looks like Hooper with his red scrum cap. Very impressed with Hooper, I must say. I think he's a really good player. And now it goes out to the wing. Australia recycling the ball well. I must say their hands have looked a little bit better than Fiji's at this stage. Fiji trying to win a penalty for coming over the top here. Nick White goes for the kick. That's a strange kick. Could go out, or it could go. I think it's gone touch. I think it's gone dead. It's going to come back for a penalty here to Fiji. Shane says, looking for the trend to continue, just take it under 49.5. Shane wouldn't argue with that at this point. It looks like a game where both teams know the importance. And I'm going to really need this game to explode at some point if I'm going to be getting anywhere to my overs. And under 49.5, yeah, I'd say that's a pretty decent play there. Some good solid tackling coming in from both sides. But I'd say overall, pretty disappointing from both sides so far. They haven't really strung anything together yet. So we'll wait for the Fiji scrum. See, we've got a clock on there, at least 18 minutes. I didn't notice that clock, so that's at least keep us up to date as far as the time goes. And I'm just looking here. We've got a points line now. Shane, you did well there. It's already down to 46.5. And we've got the handicap currently sitting. It's quite interesting, 2.5. The bookies are quite impressed with what they've seen from Fiji so far. So there's a big run. Was that Botia with the run? And they got a bit of a space here. Unfortunately, the pass from the scrumming wasn't great. Fiji kick it downfield. It finds a bit of grass, and Donaldson picks it up under his post, probably about 6 meters out. He goes for the kick. I suspect he'll go for touch here, and he has done. Fiji got the opportunity to take it quickly, but they decide not to, and it's another good kick from Donaldson. It's taken play it's taken play into the Fiji half, close to the 10-meter line. Right. Anybody else got some bets on the game? Share them in the live chat. And we're going to be coming up, I think, for the water break soon, and we'll do the first draw. I know quite a few of the guys are overseas, but anyway, come into the draw, guys. You can always redraw if necessary later. Well, I don't have to ask you to come into the draw because it's going to automatically put you in the draw. Right, there is Botia with a strong run. Boy, this Fiji, and they've got some players. The hooker goes, so this could be a penalty. Yeah, penalty to Fiji. Hooper going off his feet there as he tried to collect the ball. I'm looking at this. It's kickable depending who your kicker is. This is between the 10-meter line and the halfway line, and not straight in front, but it's certainly not too bad. I think if they've got any confidence in their kicker, they'll have a go here. This is certainly where you would expect a good kicker to nail it. Shane, what are you saying to us here? Sexton should be a bet for player of the tournament if you're interested in a hedge against South Africa. Some alternative Irish bets are interesting me. So, guys, interested in your views on the World Cup stuff. I mean, Ireland obviously getting rave reviews. They were absolutely clinical against Romania. They were clinical again yesterday as well. I mean, they against Tonga. They look good, but they haven't played anyone yet. Let's face it as well. And South Africa showed that, we can't read too much into that opening result against Romania. Romania, absolutely terrible. Anyway, we're into the 21st minute, and we got Scrummy Karavili going for the penalty. I would say I'd give him about 70% chance of nailing this kick. Wait and see. Let's go, and he lines it up and kicks it. It looks pretty damn good to me. He's got the distance. He's got the direction. The flags go up, and Fiji, you little beauties, go up ahead by 6-3. So I'll just update our little scoreboard there. And it's Fiji take the lead. I blow the final whistle. I'll take my... No, what am I saying? I've got the Fiji points. I can't blow the final whistle now. But from a Super Brew point of view, I would certainly be quite happy with that. And while we're having a look around, I'm going to go to my Super Brew pool and let's go and have a look at the match results and see what the other guys have gone for. Obviously, we got a very big group here, as I say, all put money in. In the meantime, Australia have kicked off. Fiji have secured the ball. It looks like this is going to be a kick either out to touch or downfield from the scrum half. Typical exit, if you want to put it that way. I've been very impressed with some of the scrum halves kicking in this World Cup. I mean, we all know how far to punt. Oh, great chase there by Fiji, forcing Australia, Carter Gordon out to touch, which means Fiji now have a line out just short of the halfway line. And I must admit, Fiji's starting to come into their own now. I'm starting to get a little bit excited. I just want to go down here. This is the 7, the bench. But as I say, unfortunately, this pool is closed. We still have a good for the game pool. If you want to look for that and enter, you're welcome. That's free to play. But if I look at South Africa, let's have a look at Australia, Fiji. We'll have a kind of a look and see where the boys have gone in terms of spreads. Right, it's Fiji to throw the ball into the line. I've taken nicely, quick ball off the top. A nice inside pass there. And it's the flanker number 6, Tagetabulo, who makes a run there. I have to look at my sheet. I'm battling with these guys' names. The prop forward takes it on a run. This could be a turnover. No, it's come back to Fiji. And Fiji's starting to make some inroads with their runners here. Is that the number? He built like a hooker, but is that the number 12 to Savaya? There's some powerful running here. Australia a little bit under the pump at the moment. Possible penalty, yeah. I think Aussie line on the ball. No, referee says could let it go. Fiji running hard through the forwards now. Potential turnover there, no. Fiji managed to recycle. They're just outside the 22 at the moment, doing some small pop passes. Australia are defending here. That looked dubious to say the least, but no. Referee says the ball popped out on Australia's side legally, and it's a big kick by White, and that is going to be a 50-22 to Australia. Brilliant kick, and turned a very shaky-looking situation. Oh, gosh, Australia have taken it quickly, and they're going to score the first try of the game, and it's Marky Mark who gets the try. I have him at, I think, 36-1 for the top try scorer in the tournament. That's his second try, so well done, Australia. They take the lead. I was trying to look at the Super Brew, and I lost my concentration for a second, and they scored. But just having a look here, you'll see Super Brew haven't updated score yet, but I want to actually see the split. A lot of guys gone Aussie. A lot of guys. So I need Fiji badly. There's not a lot of guys. Well, this is probably quite a few, but I'd say probably 70-30 split. Fiji, Australia, they're in our Super Brew pool. But let's head back to the betting. That, of course, has shaken things up quite a bit. We've got, at the moment, looking at the 19 line, we've got -1.5. Okay, it seems like the bookie's also a bit behind. They've just suspended there, so we'll wait for that. But basically, a quick line I've taken, a bit of interplay, and a very easy try in the end for Australia. Fiji guilty, I think, of falling asleep a little bit there. A bit of a disappointment that for Fiji. Martin said, wait until the TMO analyzes it to death. And yes, Chris, that was one. That was really, really a good kick. That's for sure. Sometimes in-play markets correlate, meaning if it's an unders game, underdog plus handicap like this, Australia, Fiji, therefore, for Shane. Yeah, I must say, I don't bet as much in-play as I used to. We've got the conversion coming from Donaldson. Looks like he's pushed it to the left. Right, so we've got 8-6. I barely had updated the last one, and I'll have to update it. Whoops. Let's put Australia into 8, and we've pretty much got quite a bit. So from a total points point of view, things are looking a bit better, and I guess, Shane, for you, perhaps not quite as good. And let's go back to the rugby. Then we've got Fiji kicking off 8-6 down now. I'm going to have a look at the latest betting. Australia -3.5 at this stage, so they're still favourites. And they take the ball cleanly out the air there and are making a bit of yards. This could potentially be a penalty to, it's got one of those rolling ball fields that could be a penalty. On the other hand, Fiji getting them out to touch. There's a knock on there by Australia. The scrum half made a break. Let's see if it can clear him out quickly. Oh, hands like absolute feet from the tight head prop there of Fiji. I can't believe it. Anyway, he knocks the ball on. That's Taji. And unfortunately, Australia scrum decides how their 22. That was brilliant ball for Fiji. And really, those are the sort of mistakes you just can't afford to make. Betting down at the moment, so I'll pull this back up. But yeah, that was certainly a bit of a disappointment. Have we had a water break in this one? I don't think we have. And maybe the temperature's maybe not high enough. Yes, Shane saying maybe better to make a pre-game decision and live or die by the sword. So let's do our first lucky draw. So I'm going to mention this to anyone who's just joined the show now. 200 Rand vouchers up for grabs. And we're going to do a lucky draw now. You have to have commented in the live chat to be a runner. We'll do the draw. Even if one of the overseas guys wins it, we'll just carry on. I'm not going to do any redraws and stuff now. So if you are in the live chat, give a comment there and you can go into the draw. I'm going to pop onto that now. Let's see how many candidates. We've got 15 people that have commented so far in the live chat. And I'm going to do the first draw. We got a bit of a break in play. The TMO looking at something here. And it's a tackle on the Fijian. Is it? Well, clean out? What is it? Actually can't see. The winner, Werner Hesselman. Sorry, I wasn't even watching. So Werner, send me an email, Brent at goodforthegame.co.za. Obviously, won't get to it now, but we'll organize you that voucher early in the week. Because my commentary's down, okay, he's given a penalty to Fiji for a high tackle. I think this is very kickable. And well done to Werner there on getting that first of the 200 Rand vouchers at Betxchange. Right, this should be quite kickable by Fiji. Yeah, it was a high tackle. It's certainly not cardable or anything like that. We got 26 minutes on the clock. Fiji got a chance to take the lead here again now. We've got our scrummy. Kuruvali is going to take the kick. This kick is just outside the 22, and it's probably midway between the post and the touchline. So it's very kickable. I would like to think that he could nail this 85 to 90% of the time. Let's have a look now. Shane, you're asking how many tournament red cards. I think you might be right. 3. If I recall, the spread was about 7.5 initially, or somewhere along those lines. So yeah, I think somewhere around there. Let's have a look here with the shot clock. He's got 26 seconds left. And yeah, he's lining it up now. He's looked pretty good so far. This is one of those. I'd compare this to the first kick that Willemse missed today. He struck it well. He's just snuck it inside the right-hand post. Fiji are back in the lead at 9-8. This is a proper game we've got on our hands here. That is for sure. I don't think I ever did update score last time, so let's just do that. And we'll bring it up there at the bottom there. 9-8. We've got 27 minutes down, and this is everything what we expected it to do. In terms of closeness, it maybe hasn't been quite that good in terms of, I could say, precision of play at this point. So remember, we are going to do another lucky draw at halftime as well. Right, it's a nice clearance there from the scrum half. Carter Gordon running back. That has gone out to touch, but he's taken play. I'm waiting for the camera to pan. Looks like he's taken play all the way into the Australia half. So that was an excellent kick. I must say, being quite impressed with this number 9. Was really disappointed when the starting Fijian fly-off didn't make the World Cup, because I'd watched him play in some of the warm-up games. Was it months? And look, the Aussie standing inside the field of play throwing this ball in. I mean, I can't understand how they don't pick that sort of thing on. It's an Australian ball, like running towards the halfway line, putting it through the hands. Fiji try and hold it up, don't succeed. Australia recycle, and it's going to be White who passes to Slipper. Slipper takes it in. Fiji trying to get over the ball once again, don't succeed. This is where Australia look dangerous if they can get out to this right wing. I must admit, I'm quite impressed with them there. They've now moved their way into the Fijian half, and there's a up and under box kick, I guess we'd call it, from White. Radradra trying to get under it, and unfortunately knocked on by Fiji straight into the Aussie hand. And now Australia, this is where they seem to be dangerous. There's a bit of a kick ahead. I'm not sure that's the best of kicks. It'll be dotted down, and I wonder what the ref will say. Will he say advantage over for the knock-on? I would say that's advantage over. Radradra knocks it down, and it looks as though we got a goal line dropout here. I'm not sure, though, but that's certainly the way it's looking at the moment. Either that or it goes back to the scrum. Radradra gave us a few seconds where he was actually pushed out with the ball. I wonder if that isn't an Aussie. I don't know. Maybe I'm not too clued up on all of these rules. I wonder if there could be the possibility of an Aussie trap. Now, it's a goal line dropout, and it's kicked deep. I wonder if we'll have an Aussie drop goal here. No, it's gone to Hooper with his red cap. He storms through towards Fiji. Australia getting some good ball here. They certainly, I would say, look the more clinical of the two sides at the moment when it comes to ball in hand. And, yep, there's the other flanker. McWright taking it in there. They're inside the 22 or just on the 22 now. Valentini taking it in. And I'm almost expecting the ref's arm to pop up sometime. You get that feeling when the ref is expecting or looking at a penalty. Decent run here. This is Angus Bell. I must say, been impressed with him over the last few matches and that, including the warm-up games and the Rugby Championship. Marky Mark, where he's always such an elusive. It looks like Fiji could have got over it, and they have. Very well done. Was that Bhatia, I think, who got over it? Let's wait and see. Yeah, Bhatia got over that. You don't shift that guy off the ball easily. Brilliant there. So turnover inside the 022. It's going to give Fiji the chance to release the pressure quite a bit there. And we'll see what comes of that. Martin not impressed, saying Australia are terrible. Martin, the glass is half full, not half empty, mate. We've got a great game of rugby on our hands here. And let's wait and see what happens. And it's kicked out by Fiji there. And they'll have a line out. Looked like the camera panned away. It looks like pretty close to the halfway line. So hopefully a chance for Fiji to do something more with the ball. We just ticked over the half an hour mark. So the final 10 minutes of this half going to be crucial. Fiji got the throw into the line out from the penalty. Good contest by Australia, but Fiji get it, and they get a bit of a maul going. This is the first time we've really seen Fiji maul. They've been taking the ball, and it's a pretty impressive maul. In fact, Australia surely taking that down. Yeah, there goes the ref's arm. Fiji going to run it from here. They're on the 10-meter line, close to the touchline, but they've got an advantage now. But no, ref has actually blown it up. And it's going to be interesting because this is kickable, but it's difficult. I would say it's sort of 7 meters in from the touchline on the 10-meter line. So it could also be one that Fiji would prefer to drill down the touchline. But if their kicker thinks he can make it, he is kicking one. It looks like he's stepping forward. Kuruvali, he has kicked very well so far, so probably worth a go because it could give them a 4-point lead. So we'll see what happens. I'd have to, Martin, you were some of the Aussie option taking also hasn't been great. In fact, both teams, I'd say, have let themselves down a little bit in that regard. But we're going to get a kick for post now, I believe. That was clearly taken down by Australia. It was a really good maul by Fiji, and this is the difference between this Fiji side and, let's say, Fiji sides of past. I mean, they didn't have a pack of forwards like this. This Fiji side have got a proper pack of forwards. I'm going to call you this one. They reckon 69% probability he nails this. I would like to think that, that's probably about right. I would say about a 65 to 70% possibility. It's a little bit closer in than I thought, so it's a little bit easier than I initially thought. Let's see what he does. I'll be able to get a good angle on this because we were looking from behind him. It looks bloody good. Looks bloody good indeed. Well done. Nice. He's knocked another, and Fiji now lead by, it's 12 to 8. So really, really well done there. And let's put that in. We've got about 8 minutes to go now, 7 minutes to go now in the half. I'm just wondering if Betxchange don't show the score on here at all. But there we go. I'm not going to worry with the score anymore. It's 8-12. We've got it up there, so that's great. That actually helps me a lot. Something to learn certainly for next time. Right. We're going to go now. Fiji, once again, take the ball. I've got the scrum half kicking from the 22. Will he find touch again? This one doesn't look to have got as much distance. No, he has, in fact, kicked it into the Carter Gordon, but he hasn't found touch. A great run by Gordon. But he knocks it on. Can Fiji do something with this now? They've picked up a bit of loose ball there. They've got a knock-on advantage. They're just inside their own half. Kick downfield from the scrum half into the Australian 22. Not a bad kick, but perhaps would have wanted them to do a little bit more with that than what they did. So I'm going to bring this one down rather and let people know. Scrolling there. If you make a comment, you can get into the draw for the vouchers. Let's see what the boys have got to say. It has that feel of a 3-point game either way. Have to agree with you there, Shane. And Chris saying, still fuming about Ramos taking those kicks from out wide instead of a corner in the first game. Yeah, that was the only thing is I'm on Ramos to be top point scorer in the tournament. So I wasn't too unhappy about that, I must say. Right, Fiji with the line out just outside their own 22. They've put it back. He can't kick direct now. He kicks it deep. It's got good length on it. That looks like Korobeti, he fumbles it, knocks it back into his 22. So they cannot kick it directly out to touch. Now, Korobeti is going to kick, but I think it'll be an up and under. Oh, that looked like it came off the side of the boot. Oh, brilliantly taken. And here go Fiji now. It's inside their own half. That was the fullback, Royase. I haven't mentioned him much today. So Fiji have got the ball just inside their own half. The forwards rumbling it up. It's now going out wide. Not the greatest of pass. But you never know. Sometimes those can work. It somehow ended up at the winger, but not good ball. He makes a bit of inroads. We're on the halfway line here. Fiji not making a lot of progress at the moment with the ball. And we need one of these players to break it up. Taken up there by the lock forward. It looks like a knock on there by Australia. I wasn't too sure how that happened. But the ref hasn't blown the whistle, so they're still playing. He's got his arm out there for a knock. Fiji now gets some decent ball. They've got a bit of space out wide here. Is that the flanker number 7 out? Goes to the prop, who throws an absolute Hail Mary pass. This prop, I don't know. He's knocked a ball on, and now he's throwing a bit of a wild pass. He probably needs to tighten up a bit, I must say. Let's go and have a look at the latest points markets and that, Shane. I see you mentioning it there. Total points, you're still okay, Shane, with the under 49.5. It's currently under 48.5, or the over 48.5 is trading shorter there at just over 15 to 20. And if we look at the handicap at the moment, have we got a change in favourite? Yes, Fiji now in the outright betting on 9 to 10. So we do have a change in favourite there. What's happening now, though? Something happening here. Hopefully not a TMO involvement or anything like that. Looks like the Australian lock Arnold. I think it's Arnold that's gone down. Richie Arnold. And that is not good news for Australia. You know, they've lost Skolton, and now Arnold's down, and we'll see what happens here. But if Aussies lose another, it's going to be really, very difficult for them to recover. So let's wait and see what happens there. At the moment, a bit of a break in play. So I'm going to take a drink. I considered having a beer in this game, but as I said, I had 2 in the Springbok game. We went to a pub down the road. And I decided not to take any more chances. I don't want to pass out in the middle of this commentary. So, let's see. Just a reminder, make a comment and you can get into the draw. We may as well do a draw now. I'll do the second one with the giveaway tool. Let's have a look. We had Werner won our last one. He won't be eligible now, but we'll exclude him. So let's draw again and see who wins the second 200 voucher. Peter Paul, brilliant. Peter Paul, he's such a regular on our shows and always supports us, retweeting us and stuff like that again. Brilliant, Peter Paul. You're the winner of that one. Well done. Let's go back. Sorry, I've now got distracted from the game. Looks like Fiji could get a penalty. Yeah, yes. Australia off the line out, holding on. Fiji get the peanut. What are they going to do? This is now inside the 22, probably about 7 meters out from the touchline. It's a sort of position, if they fancy their line out, they might just go for the jugular and try and score a try here. But let's wait and see, because the way their kick is kicking, I mean, 3 points here would take them 7 ahead. Obviously, also in a game of this nature, you just want to win the game. You're not worried about how far you win the game. So let's have a look. Chris is calling a line-out more try. So let's see what happens. Yeah, Shane making the point. Obviously, I hadn't noticed that behind me there. It's getting dark in the background. Yes, game started in daylight. We're coming into our summer now, Shane. So here in Johannesburg, in sort of midsummer, we have lights until about 7 o'clock. If you're down in Cape Town in midsummer, you light until about 8:30, 9. But I know there in the UK match, you get a lot more. So we got the line out. Fiji got to take it first job, just take the line out. Not the great throw. Australia managed to tap it back. That was a pity. I mean, there's your chance. That is Fiji. That is what's haunted Fiji over the years, the inability to convert opportunities like that. So that was a pity. Carter Gordon gets the ball. He kicks it, and he finds a decent touch. I'd say just inside the 22. Probably would have been looking for a little bit more distance, but they were under pressure. But great work there. I think it was Hooper who went up. Yeah, got in front of the Fijian number 8 and won that ball. No, it wasn't Hooper. Was it Frost? I think it could have been Nick Frost who got up there. So yeah, well done there. But once again, we got a Fiji lineup inside the 22. Yeah, personally speaking, let's hope they can do something now. I'd like to see something It's fine. They win the line out clean and they knock it on. Now, come on, Fiji. Now, that's ridiculous, man. It's honestly ridiculous. I mean, you're getting all this ball, you've got all this opportunity, and you go and absolutely stuff it up like that. No, honestly, guys, if you want to know why you're not considered a superpower in world rugby, it's because of crap like that. Honestly, Botti advised himself. I mean, this is clean ball you've got inside the line out, and you go and knock it on like that. Yeah, no, not happy with the Fijians at all. They're very, very disappointing there. Right. Let's see what happens now. It's obviously going to be an Australian scrum just inside their 22. And yeah, Botia, very disappointing. You put your hand up, lad, but that was disappointing. I didn't enjoy that one at all. As Martin says, Martin, you and I, we're singing from the same hymn sheet this time. That is woeful. And woeful it certainly was. Right. Nick White going to feed the Australian scrum. And looks pretty solid setup at this stage. So the scrums have been good to watch. Fiji, I would say, have got a very slight edge in the scrum, but it's slight. Will they pay the price for not making Australia pay? There's only 1 minute left. Fiji have now got a line out midway between the 10 meter and the 22, it looks, and they can hopefully exert a bit of pressure. I think they're probably regretting not going for posts earlier. I think the kick to the corner was probably the right option, but just they butchered both line out, and then they butchered another one straight after. So just disappointing. Chris, yes, it's coming on for halftime pretty soon. I don't know what your clock says, but we're sitting here at the moment at 39-21. Fiji have got the ball on the attack, and it's the big number 12 who runs it up, manages to keep his footing quite well. This is certainly the type of scenario where, lovely little run there with Radra coming in on the inside pass. Fiji still got the ball, a wild pass by the scrum half, and a kick ahead, which is absolutely foolish given that it's basically halftime. Honestly, guys, can you not? No, that is ridiculous. I mean, you got good ball. Okay, maybe not great ball by the time it got to him, but there's 20 seconds on the clock. All Australia are going to do is win the line out and kick it out. So as much as Fiji are leading this game at 12-8, they're hell of a frustrating to watch. I mean, they're just doing things which is not. What happened there? Someone took something quickly. Ozzy tried to take it and looked like, let me look at that. I'll show a replay of that. I was looking down at my keyboard and I saw Fiji dotting down, but obviously the try hasn't been allowed. But however, I mean, on the one hand, encouraged by Fiji, they're playing well. I mean, they lead 12-8, but they could have been further ahead. They're making such silly decisions on attack. Now, Australia will just be looking to tie this ball up. Fiji have to contest. Surely going to go to the front here now. No, you'll put it to the back, and Australia will just kick it out. Guys, it's halftime. It is 12-8 to Fiji at the break. And yeah, we'll run through the betting now. We'll see if anybody comes and joins me to chat at halftime. I didn't line anybody up, but I said to the guys, if you're watching at home or whatever and you want to come and have a chat, pop in and we'll talk about the first half. And there's the score up there, 12-8 to Fiji. So yeah, Martin's off his bet on over. He says his bet on overs is dead. What do we got here, Martin? We got 20 points in the first half. Yeah, it's difficult to see overs arriving. My Fiji overs have still got a chance. I mean, they're obviously more than halfway there. I just need them to score probably a try or so in the half. I was had pointed by Fiji there. And Mark Dunphy making the point. Poor game. Mark, I agree with you. I don't think this game has been the sort of standard we would expect. But I think what Fiji, if I'm in the Fiji halftime shed now, I guess what I'm saying to the guys is we've got these guys. Let's just keep the pressure on. Let's not do stupid things when we're on attack. We're butchering lineouts and that. But let's look at the positive. We're 12-8 ahead and can definitely kick on to win this game. As far as Australia goes, they must be a bit concerned. They haven't really shown much in this game. They looked a bit. They scored the only try, but they just haven't looked that good in the game. They look like they're getting a little bit outmuscled now by Fiji. So we'll see what happens. Let's go and have a look at the betting at Betxchange, the halftime betting. As I say, I like to, when I bet in running, I normally do it at halftime. You've got plenty of time. And we have basically even money, 12-10 Australia. So just the way Betx do their it's not the decimals that some of the other bookies use where 1.21 would be 1-5 in fractions. And 1.21 here is just over 12-10. So it's a decent price. You've got the draw at 24 and you've got 8-10 Fiji. So that's not going to relate, obviously, to much of a handicap. You can see +1.5 Australia, -1.5 Fiji. And if we look at the totals at the moment, which is why Martin left, because his total bet, he says, is dead. And it's not looking great. It's 45.5. Under 45.5 is over even money. And over 45.5 is trading at just over 15 to 20. So, yeah, that's a bit of a tricky one. Let's see what Mark says here. He says, hopefully Fiji play a better second half. Yes, Mark, we can only hope so. And, yeah, just if you do enjoy the channel, guys, I know a lot of the guys talking here are regulars, but if you're new to the channel, do hit us with a subscribe. We've got plenty of rugby betting previews live and recorded coming over the next weeks. Chris saying, I've been called clinically insane, but I think England outright is the best value right now. See how they go tonight. Now, Chris, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up that slide we had on earlier with the outright betting. It'll take this back a little bit. There we go. England 12 to 1. You know, Chris, based on their performance against Argentina, I would have to say that you got a point. I think, you know, they certainly look the value. I mean, they're going to play, what will they play? Wales or Australia or Fiji in the quarters. You've got to fancy that based on their performance against Argentina, they can go to the semifinals. And who knows from there what could happen. So, yeah, 12 to 1, I wouldn't necessarily talk out of it. I've got someone coming to join me now. So let's pull him up, and I'll hello. Oh, there he has come. Brendan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I heard you waffling on there.
You know why? My monitor's plugged in. Sorry, Brendan. It's my dolly monitor. My monitor, actually. It's my computer that's messed. I need to get a new computer. Is Brendan O'Connell Coyle there? Brendan?
Yeah, how's it?
Good to see you, man. How's it going? It looks like you've just rushed home from work to catch the game.
No, not at all. It's been a nice, easy day. And
okay.
Yeah, we had quite a bit of rain showers. I'm just south of London, and it was so bizarre. I was looking at the rugby, England versus Japan, and I saw, oh shit, there's quite a bit of rain about, and then I realized I wasn't playing a Twickenham, But anyway, just being sort of England and Japan and all that kind of thing. So I quickly had a quick look at the weather tonight, and it actually looks fine, hey. But yeah, I've been sitting around all day watching a bit of rugby, doing a few chores around the home. We had quite a few showers, and I just finished watching that first half. And what did you think of it, Brent? What was your initial feelings?
No, I was just saying to the guys who are watching now, Brendan. I mean, I thought it was a bit of a poor. I mean, ultimately, I thought it was a bit of a poor half. I must say, it wasn't. I'm just taking out this. It wasn't a great half of rugby. I mean, I was actually getting quite annoyed by Fiji there, Brendan, because I don't know if you know, but I'm on Fiji, right? I'm on their points. I've gone for them on Super Brew. And I just felt at the end they were starting to dominate, but they made such stupid decisions when under the, just where they needed to execute properly, like a line out, 2 line outs, in fact. And then right at the end, there's 20 seconds, 10 seconds left on the clock. Ball goes out, and the guy does a silly little kick into touch. And I mean, all Australia had to do from there was obviously throw the ball in and kick it out. You keep the ball in hand in that situation. So for me, Fiji over the years, this has been one of the problems with Fiji, is that they don't execute well, and I think they're much improved. On the other hand, 12-8 ahead of Australia, and I think they've looked the better side. What do you think?
So of course I've gone for Australia and Super Brew mainly, but my main bet's.
So tell me you're on unders. You're known for unders, or you're on unders?
Yes, I'm under 52.5 there, and I'm under Fiji points as well at 23.5. So it's looking okay. So for me, I look at it in a different point of view. That I was glad that Fiji at the end, I agree. They were playing the better rugby by far. They're way more physical. Australia, Australia really are shite. And no one's really taking control for Australia. So I mean, it's from that first half performance, it's kind of up to Fiji to lose, I think. But like you say, it's just going to come down to a couple of silly little errors or decisions. I don't know. You expect maybe Australia to improve in the second half. You would expect. But I don't know if they have the improvement in them, So
I think those injuries were bad for Australia. Kamal just coming in now. Kamal, I would bring it up, but unfortunately, as I say, when I have a guest, for some reason, my computer doesn't allow the sound to work, which is a bit annoying. I will try and move the betting and that across now. But you asked, what did I do on Super Brew? So just as the show started, I changed my pick from Australia by 8 to Fiji by 8. So I'm very much in the Fiji camp. I'm rooting them. And Brendan, I mean, you're playing in the big Super Brew pool. Yes. And I mean, the thing is with the Super Brew is you've got a weekend here where you've got 8 easy games, and 1 tricky game. And the problem is if you get the tricky game wrong, the guys who got it right all pull 2 points on you plus the 1 for the game, but they all get the bonus point. Exactly. So yeah, I'm pretty worried about that at the moment myself.
Well, I started the week. I was opposite to you. I went with Fiji by 3, and I think I've gone now Australia by 7. So mine was a 10-point swing. And I'm the same sort of thing. I'm sort of languishing at the rear of the field in most pools, sadly. A couple of games, I went for a little bit of an upset in one of the earlier games last week. I went for Argentina. That was one of the ones. And I
also went for Argentina. That one nailed me last week. What did you do? France, New Zealand as a matter of interest.
Oh, I went for New Zealand. Another one. Yeah. So
okay. So
I was expecting. Yeah, I got a lot of ground to make up. That's for sure.
The coil will be running on. I'm sure the coil will be running on strong.
I'm just hoping some of the front runners paid.
And Brendan, if you had to look at it now, I'm looking at a total points line, I think of about 45.5. Fiji slight favourites at 8 to 10 for the game. If you were looking at a halftime play, what would you be thinking?
Wow. I guess there's 2 lines of thought. I mean, Fiji just want to win the game. I was surprised with the second penalty that they went for the line out. I thought they actually might go for a kick at post. Because at the end of the day,
okay, yes, yeah, me too.
The lesser part of me thinks that it could open up. I can't see it opening up. I think if Fiji keep their nose in front, it's going to be tight all the way to the line. That Australian try, that really was against the runner play, and it was quite fortunate for them. 45.5. It probably looks about right. If anything, I wouldn't go overs. I wouldn't go overs there. That's for sure.
Yes, yeah.
I think it could come down to a couple of kicks. And I've got myself actually funking now for Fiji. I'm thinking if they lose this game, obviously they're out pretty much, unless something drastic happens. But I'd much prefer Fiji to be in than Australia. That's for sure.
Yeah, I must say, I made the change on Super Brew, but I must tell you, the game before, I had South Africa by 75, and I saw a bit of rain about, and I dropped it to 65, and I mean they won by 76 in the end.
Yeah, you would have got a half a point, or something extra.
Yeah.
Are
we both on? Are you on Japan in Super Brew there, Brendan?
Yes, I am. Well, not outright.
No, not outright. Not outright. Would you like Japan to beat the plus?
I do a little bit. I see old Lapis Skakmi is back again at loose forward. I've always rated him actually, but I mean Japan obviously are not the team that they were, and they've had a very poor last 4 years. England, I mean all the points came from George Ford last week. And they didn't look that exciting on the ball. There was a defense that was really, really good. I guess with 15 players back on the field, they'll probably look to try and score a few tries. The Japanese defense isn't the greatest.
Yeah.
So there should be no excuses for them to score a few tries. I do need to have a look at conditions again just to make sure, but I think conditions are fine. But it is that Georgian referee, and he's a bit of an oddball. That Nika, whatever.
Oh, I know you mean. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
Nico. He can be a bit of a strange cat. And if anything, he's a bit of an unders. So, yeah, I'll be waiting to. I'll probably post something on the forum. I think I have already, but like a final bet, I think I'll post something.
Yeah, under 51.5. Just to mention to the guys watching, ignore the top odds. That's obviously no longer available. But England, Japan with Betxchange, you can get 51.5 points, even money over or under up to a maximum of 5,000, and minus 22.5 England. So that's a good offer, eh, Brendan?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Evens, yeah, great. No tax. Yeah, that's fair play. Fair play to them.
What's the betting like over there in the UK? I mean, I often hear guys moaning of the bookies there.
I must say, my favorite bookie for rugby in the UK anyway is Sky Bet. They really seem to have generally the better odds at times, as well as the better choice as well. They'll have a vast array of different handicaps, as well as total points, as well as, home and away points type thing as well. Let's have a look how they're betting at the moment. I guess it'll all be pretty much in line.
Yes, I'm just trying.
Do you want to have a look quick at the
Betxchange
England game or the Aussie game? Let's have a look how they're.
Yeah, the England. Well, have a look at the betting on both actually there.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to be pretty much the most accurate. Yeah, I think I heard you say, hey, Australia plus half, sort of 9
Yeah, Australia
10,
plus 1.5. I'm going to bring it up now. As I say, I need to get a new computer because this monitor constantly lets me down. But let's just bring it up now.
Total points 45.5 as well. No real change there. Yeah, it looks pretty much very similar, I think.
45.5. No real movement there.
They got 13-10 Australia in the 90 minute. Oh, shit, correction, then 80 minutes. They got 13-10 Australia, 16 to on the draw, and 8-11 Fiji. So they're betting pretty low there. So it's pretty good odds. Later on, being an English company, let's just see if they've got anything attractive with regard to the Japanese game. I saw 21.5 points earlier, but I am hoping for a bit better. Yeah, they've still got 21.5 points. So, yeah, Betxchange, if you do fancy the Japs to stay within the cap, that evens is, good value.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. I'm not going to get further involved. I was just having a look at Betxchange there. Fiji points is still 22.5, which is where I backed it at the start. I guess, Brendan, you said you're on under 23.5. I mean, the dream result for us. The dream result, of course, is both of us to.
But you know what? I must tell you,
23 points exactly.
I must tell you, I had one of my famous heartbroken stories last night with 30 seconds to go. I had it was Ireland against who played who was the useless side that played Ireland last night?
Oh, Romania. Oh, wait, no, last week.
No, not Romania.
Tonga.
Tonga, yeah, Tonga. Both my bets were destroyed in that final line-out when the Tongan hooker threw the ball straight to the Irish hooker, and he went over.
Don't worry, I know a lot of guys who Super Brew and stuff was there.
Oh, really?
Okay, Brendan, you're welcome to stay on. Are you watching? Can you watch from where you are there? You're welcome to stay on, or you can pop off. It's up to you.
I'm probably going to leave in about 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to hop off because we're going to pop into Nando's, the old Nando's.
Oh, nice, mate, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, play well, and let's hope Fiji score 23 points.
Excellent. Thanks for popping in, Brendan. We just good timing. Fiji just kicked off the half.
And play well, for the rest of the tournament, everyone. Cheers.
Shot, mate. Cheers, eh? Just give me a sec, guys, while I just get going to hopefully be able to bring back the original sites I had on. And let's just have a look. So in the meantime, we've had the kickoff. What's happened there? See, Donaldson, I think, made the clearance. We've got a Fiji lineup. Looks like just inside the 10-meter line in the Australian half at the moment. So this is, let me just do this. Won't be sick, guys. We've got the Fiji line out there on the 10-meter. They're running hard. They finished starting this half kind of right. They finished the last. Let's just hope they can be a little bit more clinical in this second half. They certainly should be winning this game comfortably, and they're not. It's a big run by the right wing there. Oh, he puts the flipping 50-50 or 10-90 pass away, and it's another knock on by Fiji. I'm telling you, these guys are just they are their own worst enemies at the moment. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to just change the screen quickly. You're probably going to get a nice close-up of me there. And let's stop that. And I'm going to go back to the other one. As I said, this shouldn't be happening if I must upgrade my computer, because it's just a bit annoying having to do this. But let's have a look. And then we can have the betting going there as well. Right, second half underway. We've got the right wing from Fiji, Diatu Wanakolo. He looks as though he could be cramping. Could also be an injury there as well. So he's gone down at the moment. We've, of course, got 12-8 I'm going to bring up the odds now. And let's go back up. And while we got this break in play, let me do another giveaway. Just a reminder, scrolling down the bottom there, if you comment in the live chat, you get the chance to get the giveaway. So I'm going to go. We had Peter Paul winning a 200 Rand voucher. We had Werner winning a 200 Rand voucher. Let's quickly do another draw and see what we come up with there. I've got a feeling this has got to go to an overseas guy because there's so many overseas guys in the live chat. Let's have a look. Chris, yes, Chris. Unfortunately, Chris is in Ireland, so he wouldn't be able to use the Betxchange account. We'll do another draw a little bit later. Let's go back onto the betting. It looks like the number 14 for Fiji is hobbling off. I'd say he had a decent. Well, he didn't have a great game, if I must be honest. He looked dangerous, but probably also guilty of taking a few wrong options at times there as well. So we've got just went to the second minute now. This is quite a lengthy delay. He was just having a look there. Yeah, looks like it happened in a tackle. Nothing malicious or anything like that. Looks like this doesn't look good for Fiji. Certainly he's been helped off the field. Now he is able to hobble, but that's about it, I'm afraid, at the moment. Peter Paul saying thanks for the voucher. Peter Paul, great to give you the voucher. I know you went through a period a few years ago where you used to win lots of vouchers, and lately you've just been missing out. So great that you've won that one. It's Australia win the ball on their own 22-meter line. They so holding it into the line out into the maul for a bit, but Fiji in fact are pushing them back a little bit. So Australia are going to have to use this. They're resetting though. They're determined to try and maul this. All the players have now joined, but Fiji are holding pretty firm there. Nick White is going to kick this ball. He kicks it high. I don't think he can kick it directly out to touch, and he hasn't. And Radradra takes it. My word, that man is strong on his feet. Great. Actually, Australia, Marky, he is just incredible, that winger as well. He's very, very good. Right, Scrummy dozing a bit there, but there's the ball at the base there. It's just inside their own half, Fiji at the moment. And it's going to be a box kick from the Scrummy. It looks nicely weighted. Oh, looks like a bit of oh, here we go. Fiji, number 12. So what's his name? He scores a brilliant try. Go, you good thing in the corner. A mistake by Australia. Let the ball bounce. I can't pronounce these guys, man. So, I mean, I know him well. I've seen him play many times, but a brilliant try, opportunist there. Looked like Australia were actually guilty of trying to block Fiji from running there. And what happened in the end? The ball bounced, and no one took the ball, and it bounced straight into his hands, and he scored. I'm just watching the replay now. As I said, it had good weight on it, that kick, but it was very strange. Australia, no one took it, and Fiji score. And go Fiji, you absolute good things. Toyova, geez, I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry about that, but he scores a good try there. And Fiji now. The SAR saying he's about 2 minutes behind. I think that's the only problem with these watch-alongs. The SAR. I mean, they're great if you don't have the game on, but if you do and you're a little bit behind or even a little bit ahead, it can be a problem. If I'm watching on my TV, you're probably going to be behind me, but if I was watching on a stream here, there's a good chance that you would actually be ahead. So now we've got the score 17-8 to Fiji. We've got the kick to come. It's right on the corner. This is a tough one, but this man has been, Karavali has been striking the ball well. And let's see what he does there. And we'll have a look at the betting after this and see what happens. He's hit this very nicely. I think it snuck in the right-hand post. Fiji absolutely on fire. And Brendan won't be happy with that. It's Coyle under the SARS banner. I wanted to mention the Coyle there says he wants to mention the painful woman commentator on ITV. Have you lads had the same on Supersport? Yes, I would say we've had some painful commentators. I don't want to say women necessarily, Coyle, but I'm going to mention the word Joel Stransky, and you'll know what I'm talking about. No, we've had some, I would say, some poor commentary teams, but we've had some really good ones as well. I didn't realize that Brendan was the SAR there. Anyway, a great try by Fiji. They managed to take the kickoff, but I think he might get pushed to touch. This is number 23 who's on now, and that is Benaya Habosi who's come on, and he took a good ball there. Fiji have consolidated here in their 22, and the scrum half is going to kick this one downfield. We'll have a look at the betting now. Let's wait for this. Oh, sugar charge down for Australia. Absolutely foolish. Hold on, the ref's whistle's gone. I think he's given offsides. Ooh, a major let off there for Fiji. That would have been typical. It was charged down by Arnold, but it was said to be offside. That could easily have been an Australia try. So Fiji certainly dodge a bullet there. And while they take the penalty, go and have a look at the betting. Fiji now 9-20 for the win. You can get just over 2-1 Australia. And at that moment, the betting suspends. Let's see if it comes back now. The SAR reckons the Wallabies are awful. Yeah, hard to argue. Looks like one of the Fijian players, is it the scrum half that's cramping? We don't want to lose him. He's had a very good game so far. Yeah, he's cramping a bit. Not a good sign, but hopefully he'll come right. It's going to be a Fiji line out, I think somewhere around the 10-meter line in their own half. Scrummy not moving very freely at all. I have no idea what the depth is like as far as Fijian scrum halves go, but let's have a look. Eddie gonna start throwing things into the SAR yard. I have to agree with you there. Eddie's not going to be happy. Right, Fiji, they throw it straight to Australia. Come on, lads, come on. There's absolutely no need for that at this point. Just take a straightforward lineup. Or Australia have got it now in between the 22 and the 10-meter line, running at Fiji, putting in some hard hits. It's Carter Gordon almost makes a break, then he's tackled by the scrum half, and White picks it up. It looks like a bit of space out wide. Mark, I think it was going for the kick. Oh, no, it wasn't him. Too far. It was actually Pataya who actually kicked that. And once again, similar to Fiji at the end of the first half, I don't know what they're doing kicking the ball there. To me, it makes absolutely no sense why they would kick that. But anyway, we've got 19-8 Fiji leading at this stage, and we've got 34 minutes of the game still to play. Obviously that try was great for Fiji, but aside from that, it's been a bit of a scrappy start by both teams to the second half. Yeah, very strange decision to kick there. We're going to have a Fiji scrum. Looks like number 9, who's had an absolute blind of a game. He is coming off. He's struggling. Lamani, who I think I recognize from Super Rugby, I don't think the boys rate him that highly. He's now coming onto the pitch for Fiji. Right, let's wait and see what happens now. The Fiji going to scrum. Lamani, of course, will be putting the ball in. Zarevi on the bench. Did he come on? Maybe I got that wrong. Kamal, I'm not too sure. But we'll see. 19-8. It's now Fiji to put the ball in. So I need another Fiji try to land my Fiji overs, and then all-important Super Brew point as well. What did I go? Fiji by 8. They're currently ahead by 11, so I would get the margin point. But it's too early to start thinking about that type of thing, I can tell you. Far too early indeed. Let's see how this Fiji scrum goes. I've been quite impressed with their scrum so far. If anything, they look slightly the stronger. If they hold it in here, they might get a penalty. Ref hasn't been giving scrum penalties. And there we go. Scrum penalty to Fiji. And I'll say that in a complimentary sense to me. He's been letting the guys scrum. He hasn't been sucked into giving away those scrum penalties. But I think that was certainly a decent decision by him there. Right. Yeah. So let's have a look. This is going to be own half inside, just outside their 22. They've taken they've taken it to the Australian 10-meter line, and Fiji will have a line out now. So we've got, it's going to be very, very interesting. I like what I see of this Fiji team. They're scrumming well. Australia certainly seem to be battling a bit at the moment. Fiji's line out now on the Aussie 10-meter line, and Hooker standing patiently. It's taken at the front. Good. I'm happy with that. Basic ball. Ball comes out. Hooker takes it on a run. Pops it to 21, who's got, hands like feet, as I like to say. Unfortunately, knocks it on. But it looks like the ref has pinged Australia again for being offside. So Fiji are going to get what I would imagine would be a kickable penalty here. In fact, they're all pointing at the posts. Like, I think 4 of the players pointing at the posts. So I think they're definitely going to take a shot at goal here. Australia looking pretty bemused by that. They look very... they look like they're really battling to understand that. So let's have a look. Who's going to do the kicking now? Because, of course, the scrum half is off. So we'll have a look now who's going to kick for Fiji. This is one that I would put in the 80%, 85, you'd like to think even 90% range of nailing the kick. So it's a very important kick here because it takes them 2 scores out. I would say 90 to 95%, hopefully. But, I'm not going to say more than that at this point. Lining it up. He's got 27 seconds left on the shot clock. The betting, I would imagine, is suspended for the time being. Yes, it is. We'll go down and get some prices now after this kick. And let's see what he does with it. Taking a bit of time. And he's hooked it. He's hooked it. It looked good. But in the end, he's hooked it to the left. That was not a great kick. And it could be a bit of a concern for Fiji is it Lawasi, Finis Lawasi that took that kick. Could be a concern for Fiji that their scrum half is off because he was looking very good kicking. And that's a big let-off for Australia there. It's Lamani. Sorry, it's Lamani in the 21. It's Lamani in the 21 jersey. Right. And now for Australia, Carter Gordon. Is Carter Gordon going off? Looks like Aussie might be making some subs. I'm looking at the wrong damn team, guys. Sorry, yeah, Lamani. Lamani is number 21 for Australia. I'm sorry, for Fiji. He took the kick and missed it. And it looks like Vunivalu, who's, you either love him or you hate him. I quite like him under the high ball, but he's come on now for Australia. We've got an up and under here now from the fullback of Fiji. Marky Mob takes it, but he's well tackled. Fiji coming back into the Australian half, and they're now 19-8 ahead. Australia got the ball, recycling it quite nicely. Fiji might get penalised here, and a good roll away from the Fijian number 5 there. So that was pretty impressive. Willemse levels of kicking accuracy, yes, Chris, it hasn't been great. The kicking, well, certainly that wasn't a great kick. Oh, Radradra nearly gets it. Then it's the skipper, Naiselavu, who's, I must admit, a very impressive player. Some of these Fijian guys, just, if I could use the word physical specimens, they're unbelievable, their builds and their athleticism. And yeah, I mean, they really are playing pretty well. We've got Lamani, who's kicked a high one there, comfortably taken, though, by Donaldson. Gives it to Marky Mark, who kicks it far downfield, but this should be easily fielded by Fiji. They do allow it to bounce, and it's going to be the fullback, I think it is, who's going to run it out, and he's going to kick it and hopefully find touch inside the Australia half. Very good kick, probably down to about the Australian 10-meter line, so pretty impressive there. Okay, in the 50-minute mark, it looks like a number of the subs coming on now for Fiji in the front row. We've got Ravai coming on in the 17 jersey and Doge in the 18 jersey. So, the guys are coming off the park now, can hold their head up high. They had a good game. I did think the tight head prop, Tagi, he made a few errors, but he scrummed very well, so no real complaints there. Right, it's Australia taking the ball at the back of the line. They're coming up towards the halfway line now, putting it through their hands, and some good tackling. Fiji have robbed the ball. It looks like they've robbed it. It's one of the prop. I think it was Boccia got the ball and then passed it to one of the prop subs. This is where Fiji can hurt you. You've got the skipper running hard at them now in the number 13 jersey, making some yards. They're just outside the 22. Lamani passes the ball. They're swinging it. There's plenty of Fijians standing out wide. I think Australia have got them covered, though. They take it straight up the guts. A good run there. I think it's from the number 5 lock. And Fiji have got to overlap here. They can do something here. It's a long pass. Oh, butchered, guys. Butchered. Unbelievable. Come on, guys. Jeez. I mean, Fiji are playing some great rugby, let's make no mistake, but absolutely butchering that opportunity. That had to go through their hands, and it was a try. Very frustrating. That could have been my over 22.5 points landed. Unbelievable. Chris, I'll wait to hear what you hear about that one when you watch it on your side. Guys, if you have joined us, I see a few new people have joined. Comment in the live chat, especially if you're from South Africa, you can win a 200 Rand, a Betxchange voucher there. But Fiji, please, guys, come on. You could be putting this game to bed well and truly. Oh, is it a forward pass as well? But it went to no one. He literally passed it outside. I mean, they show a young fan in the crowd putting his hand on his head, absolutely devastated, as I am by that. I mean, that really had try written all over it. But let's not get down on ourselves. They still are 11 points ahead of the Aussies. Chris saying he can now say that he hates Fiji. Chris, mate, we all get teams that we hate. Isn't it amazing, hey? You have some teams you just can't catch right. Chile, for me, are the one. I had them over 10.5 points yesterday. They scored 10 points exactly. I had them plus 25.5. I think it was against Japan in their first game. They conceded a try at the death to screw the handicap. Right, Aussie in their own 22 now with the line out. And I must say, Fiji's discipline, I don't want to speak too soon, but it's been really good as far as penalties go. And Australia still in their 22, trying to run it out of here. They've got a bit of space. Looks like it's, is it Bell or Slipper who was running out there? It was Angus Bell. And now Vanavulu's got some space. He's going to kick ahead. Oh, that looks too far. That's a terrible kick. Oh, a terrible kick. It's gone dead, and they're going to come back for a scrum, I think, just inside the Fijian half. But guy's got talent, and he's good under the high ball. That was a very poor kick, though. And it's a pity for Australia because they were just making some good yards out there. Kamal reckons Fiji going to find a way to lose this. I must admit, Kamal, I am a little bit worried about that as well. Ooh. Yo, the tackle came simultaneously. It was a hard one. Camera pans to some Aussies in the crowd. They're not looking happy. They're looking pretty damn grumpy, if I've got to be honest with you. Let's hope I made the right Super Brew. Peter Paul making the point. South Africa scored the quickest bonus point in Rugby World Cup history. I did not realize that, but it doesn't surprise me. Gee whiz, they absolutely were rampant against that poor old Romania team early in the half. Right, we're going to have a Fiji scrum actually just inside the half, almost on the halfway line. Let's see what happens here. Come on, Fiji. Finish the job, boys. Finish the job. Actually running out of water here. I'm going to have to run out and go get a glass. Of course, we've got another game to look forward to tonight. The referee blows that scrum up. It doesn't set properly. We've had a few resets tonight. More timing issues, I think, than anything else. But yeah, any thoughts, guys? Let me know in the chat. What do you think of the England game tonight? We've got 22.5 point England favourites, and we got 51.5 points, total points. Let me know your views on the England game. Where should I be putting my money? I haven't got a bet on that one. To be honest, it wasn't a game I was particularly strong on. But you know me, I can't watch a Rugby World Cup game without a bet. So let me know what your thoughts are in the live chat. Right, we're going to have Fiji resetting the scrum. They had 53 minutes gone now of the match. So we're looking at, 26 minutes still to go. I'll quickly skim down and see if we've got some betting up there. Fiji now into a 1-3. And Australia, you can back them at 28-10. And total points line sitting at 43.5 at the moment. Fiji got the ball nice and clean from the scrum. They're running it out. They skip over. He kicks ahead. I don't have a problem with that kick. It looks like a decent kick. You see what Australia do. They've taken it just short of their own try line. But Vanavulu, if he gets taken out here, he could be in trouble. Yes, but they might have got Fiji for a high tackle there. Oh, no, they're bringing them all the way back. All the way back for an offsides. Brace is bringing them all the way back. So a bit of a disappointment that obviously wouldn't have counted then. Is he saying that someone was ahead of the ball there? I'm not too sure. But yeah, a bit of a disappointment, that one. As a Scotsman, I can't say England win. Come on, Japan. Yeah, Japan, that would be a great upset. And I guess the thing is for England, what we don't know is what their performance against Argentina, can they reproduce it? Right, Donaldson with a touch kick. It looks pretty good. Touch judge is sort of strolling outside of the Fiji 22, a couple of meters outside the 22, and Australia got a line out here. And they've certainly got a chance now to do something. They haven't had much chance at all in the second half. So if you are on the Aussies to win the game or even on the handicap, whatever, well, the handicap's looking a long way away at this stage. But certainly you would need them to do something from this line out at the moment. So go, and Fiji go up for it, but Australia get it. They've got a maul nicely set now just outside the 22. Hooker's got his hands on the ball, and Fiji are going backwards here. This is always dangerous, but there's a Fijian coming through the middle. This is Aussie better use this. White passes, and it's Aussie take it up in midfield, coming around the side. Looks like Frost. And they've actually been driven backwards a little bit here. And a nice counter-ruck there from the Fijians. There's danger that they're going off their feet. Ooh. And unfortunately, I mustn't be too biased here. It's a scrum to Australia, close, sort of between their 10-meter and 22, and directly in front of the sticks. So, pretty decent stuff there from Fiji in defense. I must admit that looked pretty good. And they're a little bit unlucky. Oh, he knocked the ball on. That's why. He actually got his hands on the ball. It was Rudradra, I think, who got his hand on the ball and then knocked it on. I didn't see that in real time, but fortunately the ref had some eagle eyes on that one. So Australia going to have a scrum. We got some substitutes coming on now for the Aussies. We've got number 18 and number 21 coming on. That's Zayn Nongor, and 21, who I crossed out his name when I had the team sheets wrong. It's Lewasi for the Aussies. They're on the park now, which means Nick White is actually going to come off. And who made the comment earlier? I think it was Shane who was saying, Eddie Jones has said this is investment for the future. I guess that's what he will point to after this game if they do lose. But I think that's very poor from a coach at the end of the day. I think you take your best side to the World Cup. And he's almost like he's done this. If they win it, well, geez, I'm a flipping legend. But if things don't go right for Australia, then he can just point and say, well, I was building for the future. I do have to say, though, that Australia are very unlucky with the injuries. They didn't just lose players, a bit like South Africa and Marks. They lost key players, and they probably don't have the sort of replacements that South Africa have. We got a bit of a break in play here, but let's go for another lucky draw and see if we can get someone else to win a voucher. I'm going to go draw again. We're obviously reducing in numbers now because you can't win twice. Darth Vader. So Darth Vader, he's actually leading at the moment in the Super Brew pool. Well done, Darth Vader. You win a 200 Rand betting voucher. I think, though, rugby anymore, and he's putting the ball into the scrum. Nice solid scrum from Australia. They're swinging it to the left. They could look at both sides. This looks like good ball. Donaldson to Mark. The ball comes popping back out to the scrum half. Is that Frost carrying it in? He's had a big game, I think, at lock. He's looked pretty good. Australia on the attack now on the 22, and this will be a big test of Fijian defense and also their discipline as well. The ball's come wide. Australia, it's Korobet. He just bumps one of the Fijians off. Fiji potentially over the ball there. No, they didn't get it. Oh, gosh, Australia just hanging on to this ball inside the 22. It's a bit scrappy. Looks like a Fijian player down injured. Hi guys, sorry about that, man. It's the jolly Wi-Fi here. We don't even have load shedding and the Wi-Fi went down. I was chatting away with a big attack from Australia, but Fiji have won a penalty almost on their own line, getting it there. I just want to see how. So Fiji are going to be kicking to touch. There's certainly a great attack from Australia. They're best of the game so far. So sorry about that, guys. Yeah, you lost me there, but hopefully I can get this down, and hopefully that's the last of the glitches as far as this coverage goes. And we'll bring the betting back up there, and maybe someone could just let me in the live chat if you can hear me now, because I am a little bit concerned that you might not be able to, because my Wi-Fi has obviously dropped me there quite badly. But we're back in action. We've got another substitute here. We've got Leota coming on for McWright there for Australia, and it looks like is it Botia down for Fiji at the moment? So Fiji hanging on a bit here at the moment. You get the feeling Australia are going to come back at them. And I think Fiji, I just hope they don't regret some of those try-scoring opportunities they missed. Kamal telling me I'm back on and live. Thanks very much, guys. It was funny because I was watching the TV screen and commentating like crazy as Australia on the attack. And then I looked down and it said, you've been disconnected. So I must have talked to myself for about 45 seconds. But I'm kind of talking to myself all the time anyway. But Peter Paul saying, all good. Thanks very much for that, guys. Right. We've got a Fijian line out here now. We've got the reserve hooker, which is Ikanaveri, is going to throw it in. Definitely must be pretty humid there because guys are all struggling with cramp. We've also got the Fijian number 20, Tsuyo, coming on at the moment. So, loads of, I would almost think that Fiji must come pretty close to emptying their bench. I don't think there's, a lot more to come. It's a nice clean line out take. That's thrown back into the 22. He can't kick this directly out. Oh, has he? No. It's bounced. Oh, this could be dangerous for Australia. It's bounced to the Fijian hand. Was there a knock on there by Fiji? Referee says yes, there was. I'm going to have a scrum on the halfway line. We've got just over 20 minutes left. Can Fiji hold on to this lead? Can they extend the lead? They've certainly played well enough. They've butchered a couple of opportunities. If you're watching the live chat earlier, you'll know that I wasn't too happy with them. And I've got to start thinking about my over 22.5 now, which is 20 minutes to go. I mean, penalty doesn't do it for me. I really need them to score a try. So come on, Fiji. 2 penalties, of course, would do it for me. But let's have a look. Both teams now very much emptying the bench. Is that Leota there? Yeah, I saw him come on earlier for Aussie. And yeah, we'll see the reserve scrum. I'll feed the ball right now. It's like, as I said, the scrum taking place just inside the half of Australia. I'm going to have a quick skim down and look at the betting. Fiji now into almost 1-5, 0.22 to 1. It's a nice scrum for Fiji, but hey, interesting. He's given the penalty to Oz. He says, I think they were turning them around. The pats on the back for the Australian number 18. Who am I looking at? I'm really mixing up some of these players. Is it Nongo or is the number 18? He gets a pat on the back there for the scrum, but geez, looked like one of those ones that could almost have gone either way. Not the best touch finder from Donaldson there. He kicks it. He doesn't make it into the 22, which you would have thought he would have been going for. And Australia going to set the line pretty much on the 22 at this point. Let's see what happens here. Australia going to throw it in. I wonder if Fiji will compete here. They don't. They just let Australia get it. They're going to try and prevent the rolling maul from going too far. Was that a knock-on by Australia? It looked like the ball came to ground. But no, Australia's still going on. And this could be a penalty to Fiji. And it is beautifully over the top. Fiji win another turnover there. That is superb work on the ground. And let's just see who that is. Number 5, is it? I think it's the lock forward there. Kirikaveta. I won't try and pronounce that one again. I think, was it the number 5? Yes, it was him. Very, very well done. Could argue that his one hand wasn't on the ball, but the ref obviously not picking that up. The Tsar coming in and saying he loves unders in the England game. Humidity nice and high in Nice. Thanks for that, Tsar. We'll certainly have a look at that. A line there of 51.5. And the Tsar also saying incredible turnovers from Fiji. They really have turned over the ball very well indeed. Right, we've got Fiji line out now. They're inside, in between their 22 and the 10-meter line. They're just battling to get out of this at the moment, but credit to them. They've made some great defensive steals and an awful line out. Awful line out by Fiji. And Australia have got the ball. Fiji knock it on. I went over to the back. Everybody, well, he didn't miss it because he knocked it on. But, I mean, this is really, guys, yes, you've got to do better than this, Fiji. You've got to do better. That could be a high tackle. It is. Fiji, unfortunately, a high tackle there. And Australia got a penalty just outside the 22, up against the far touchline. It was definitely kickable, but 11 points down, I don't think you're kicking this. You want to score a try here. So Fiji, yeah, man, guys, you really are your own worst enemies the way you sort of do, the basics. You're not doing the basics well enough, unfortunately. Let's just have a look at the betting there now. So Fiji have gone back out to sort of a 1-4, 33-10 Australia. The points line now into 39.5. So I guess we can write that total points off. I just hope Fiji can somehow score a try to them over 22.5. But this has got one of those games where you feel it's going to be, well, it's just going to be all like sort of Australia and Fiji hanging on. Is anyone out in France? Kamala, you mean good for some of our regulars? In fact, I think I knew at the South Africa game today, I knew of at least 3 or 4 people at the ground. I know Harry Jones is out there. The Jackal, Alan Schultz was out there. Pierre Ball was out there as well. I actually messaged him. He was on the tram on the way to the ground. Australia, they've got an attacking line out here, about 8 meters out at the moment. They've set a good maul. Fiji appear to have stopped it once. Referee signals once. And I think Australia are going to have to use this. You feel this is critical now. What happens in the next 2 minutes will potentially decide this game. Fiji are coming through, I think. The ref. Oh, there we go. Australia have got it. And they pass it out. Vanavulu, I think it was. Oh, no, it wasn't. Oh, another turnover penalty for Fiji. Unbelievable defense here. So if you're watching, I'm sure you enjoyed that one being on the unders there. But Fiji, yeah, a superb turnover there. I didn't catch a number on that one. Let me see. I'll see it from a different angle. It was Karevi who took it up. Karevi's had a bit of a quiet game for me. And Fiji will once again have a line out between the 22 and the 10 meter. This has followed a real pattern at the moment. And let's see what the betting did there. Fiji actually have drifted slightly, almost coming up to the 3-10 mark now. So there you can see the time, 63 minutes. Let's have a look. And that's Fiji to throw the ball in. They mustn't do the reckless lineup like last time. The four took the ball at the front. That's what you do. Now you carry it up and you recycle it and you kick it deep. It's really as simple as that, Fiji. Australia line over the ball there. There could be a penalty, trying to milk at the reserves come off. But no, Australia come offside. That was silly. Who was that? That looked like Frost coming. Was it Frost coming across? Arnold. It was Arnold coming across. It's just, I suppose, marginal. But yeah, at the end of the day, it wasn't the best of moves there. So we've got the penalty now. Fiji have a chance now to get down into the Australian half. Guys, this is where I need my try, Fiji. Come on. Over 22.5 points is what we need here. As much as I like to win my Super Brew unit here, I still ultimately want to win the Fiji over 22.5. But silly there, I think, from Arnold. And we've got a Fiji line out now, if I saw correctly, probably between the 22 and the 10 line, but this time in Australian territory. Now, keep it simple, Fiji. Don't stuff the line out up. Don't do anything stupid. Nothing over the back. Just 2 balls, great. There we go. Nicely done. Quick ball, and now they're running it. Oof, a big solid collision. I couldn't see who took it. It was the Fiji. It was Rabada. Oh, gosh, they dropped the ball. And I think an Aussie's been taken out off the ball. This could be trouble for Fiji here. This could be big trouble. Let's have a look. Referee is calling the first aid on the field. I'm not sure what happened, but definitely an Aussie went down. The only question is who's to blame and what actually happened here. There's bound to have been some head. I think it was the 13, the captain of Fiji, but he had the ball. Let's see. They haven't shown the replays yet. We'll have a look now. I don't have the commentary on, so I can't hear them. I'm not too sure what I could put it up. I don't know, with these copyrights and YouTube strikes and that. I think I better not take any chances. I'm wondering how the guys normally do it, if they have earphones where they're listening to the commentary and talking at the same time on these sort of shows. I don't know. But let's wait and see now. I think it might, well, they haven't looked at anything yet. Philip has come on for Arnold now. So Arnold's off for the Aussies. Aussies having a bit of a pep talk there. Just getting some views of things that have happened earlier in the game. The try, it was Karevi inside to Marky Mark there, and he scored the try. We've got a bit of a break in play. And when there's a break in play, we'll see if we can give away something to another punter. So let's have a look. I think we're probably up to our 5 now. Oh, good for the game. Okay, we'll do a redraw there. Good for the game, winning it there. I forgot I get down quite a bit now. Let's see who wins this one. I saw Betxchange in there. They also gone win it, and I see my Wi-Fi is giving trouble. Shane, the Irishman, another Irishman winning, so unfortunately won't be. Fiji have got a penalty here, and they're going to take a kick for post, which will put them 14 points ahead. What did I go? Fiji by 8, which is actually a bit of a problem for me. It's Super Brew, I lose the margin, but I guess it brings me within 1 penalty of winning the over 22.5 points. So they're lining up the kick now. Can't see the number. It's Lemani again taking it. Let's hope he. I mean, this one, even a poor kicker should get this one 90% of the time. It's sort of very much out in front and about 10 meters outside of the 22. Just straight down the middle, son. Let's see what you can do. Okay, she's got a wild hook on his kicks, but he manages to bring it in, and Fiji go 22-8 up now. So good stuff here from Fiji. I need one more penalty, boys, to land the spoils. And yeah, good. Robert coming in and saying, go Fiji, go Fiji, go Fiji. Yes, Robert, we're with you. Well, I'm with you on that. I can't say everyone is, but we're on Fiji in this game, so certainly hoping they can do the business. Crosses over to the Fijian crowd, a few ladies in the crowd dancing away, looking very, very happy. I think there's going to be a big party tonight amongst the Fijian supporters if they can hold on. 22-8, and Aussies make another sub. There can't be many left now. And sure, Fiji get a bit lucky there, but they take the ball off the kickoff. It's once again Habasi, who's done well since he came on as a sub. Now, how will they play this now? They're setting the ball up between the 22 and the 10 meter. They're in control of it, I guess, at the moment. They don't want to do anything rash. This is going to be a kick from the reserve scrum half, Lemani. He's going to put it up in the air. He's outside the 22. He can't kick it direct. Probably given that a little bit much. I imagine this will be an easy take for Australia. Yes, Marky Mark takes it quite well. Thinks about the kick, hesitates, and Oh, he's still on his feet, but throws a bit of a wild pass. And now Fiji coming in. If they can win a penalty here, Australia recycle the ball. They're inside their own, between the 22 and the 10-meter line at the moment. Some good hits coming in here from Fiji. I think Australia are going to have to chase the game now, and that is not going to be easy. Let's have a look what's happening here. It's Takaya running with the ball there with the Aussies. They've got it up close to the halfway line. The scrum half kicks the ball. This could potentially be marked. Now, it's a good kick in the sense it comes down outside the 22, but a good run back here from the fullback. But Australia could win a penalty potentially, and they do. Getting over the ball. Pity about that from Fiji there. Drya Sessi making a bit of a run. But one of the Aussies getting over and causing the turnover there. Altino, who were the winners? He's asking. I would have to go back and watch the show. I'll be lying if I said I can remember. But we are going to do another draw now, and I'll wait for the next break in play. And your chances, if you weren't to win already, and I don't think you were, your chances are getting better and better because guys can't win multiple times, and we've got a lot of overseas guys who've been commenting in the live chat. So Glenn Jackson on the Fiji management team says the SAR rated him highly. Yes, and I was a big fan. Can you remember, Brendan, what team did he play for again, man? Was it the Chiefs or something that he played for, Glenn Jackson? We're down to a point, BG. Yes, so we are. Yeah, put it this way. So either you or me are going to win the Fiji bet now. There's no ways they're going to end on 23. So either I'm winning the overs or you're winning the unders. Another Fiji guy hobbling off here. The Fiji, geez, a bit worse for wear at the moment. It's Tusova, the try scorer, has come off. So yeah, they are looking a little bit worse for wear. As far as the rest of the tournament goes, I'd be a bit concerned because there've been quite a couple of injuries there for the Fijians. Right, Australia win the ball. This ball is looking more promising for them. They're heading towards the 5-meter line, and they're on the 15-meter line. The referee's arm's gone out, so they got a penalty. So this is where Fiji are now coming under the whip. Australia break away, but they played under advantage here. Oh, they're surely a try. It's a try for Australia. Is it Vunivalu who scores the try? I think it's him. He picks the ball up sort of at the back of the maul and runs through and scores. So well done to him. It's now 22-13 with what should be a very makeable conversion to come, which means we'll have a 7-point ball game there. And I can only hope that Fiji will get a penalty at some stage. Looking at the try, yeah, pretty good try. Grounding looked fine to me. And, yeah, well taken. Also a very athletic winger. And he forced his way through there quite well, I must say. Georgia or Portugal to upset Fiji? It's not impossible. I was looking like Fiji last year, in the last World Cup, they were beaten by Uruguay, which was very. So they are that. Quen coming in, Fiji really putting the upset. Yes, let's hope they do. It'll only be 7 points after this. And while they're taking the kick, let me do another draw because we definitely have at least one more voucher to give away. And we'll have a couple of new entries in there. Altino, Joey Wallace. I don't think Joey is one now. We try and it looks like my Wi-Fi is going. We'll go back through the show afterwards and try and let all the winners know. Right, it's 22:15, guys. We've got 10 minutes to play, and we've got one hell of a game on our hands here. Let's have a look at the latest betting. Okay, it's suspended at the moment. We'll get that in just a sec. You see they're running a bit behind us saying Donaldson conversion. And I am, of course, on betxchange.co.za site. Right, let's have a look now. We've got Fiji kicking off. They're now still 1-5 for the win. I suppose they are 7 points ahead. The draw's only trading at 8-1. And we've got total points at 42.5. A good clearance there by Australia. Will Fiji take this quickly? Oh, no, they won't. Australia's starting to come back into this game now. I'm starting to get a little bit worried about my Super Brew pick. I'm also quite worried about my over 22.5. Fiji, just bring those bets up. Just as a reminder, the one bet's pretty much gone, but the bigger bet was the Fiji one. But I've got Fiji over 22.5 and then over 51.5 total points. So the 51.5, I think we can safely say, is done and dusted. But I am still hopeful that the 22.5 can arrive. It's Fiji on their own 10-meter line. They got a line up. Keep it simple. And they've thrown it, and Australia have got it, but knocked it out back, which means Fiji gain effectively about 2 yards. But what's worrying me here is Fiji don't seem to have many line-out options. The depth could be a problem here. That guy jumping, Not sure who it was, but I almost got the feeling, Brendan, that it was some of my size going up and rather difficult to lift. Right, let's have a look now. They got a line up. They're going to surely go to the front and just keep this as simple as possible. But Aussie know that. So Aussie are going to, oh no, they went to the back, but still threw it to the Aussies. So Aussies have got it. So Fiji really need to somehow, I don't know. They've got to make something happen now. The game has gone down, and I think Australia is still very much in this game at the moment. I'd be a shame if Fiji didn't win this. So Australia have got the ball inside their own half. It looks like their scrummy Lawasi is going to kick it. Oi! And it's knocked on by Fiji. So Fiji, boys, you really are your own worst enemies here, I'm afraid, at the moment. So Valentini's got it in midfield. He makes good yards. He goes over the 10-meter line. Mark calling for the pass. He manages to pop it. It looks like he's popped it to Frost. And they're into the Fiji 22. Is this another great turnover from Fiji? No. Australia have got the ball and are working it upfield. They've got to watch the discipline now, Fiji as well. Scrummy's got the ball, and he passes to the prop, the reserve prop, the number 18 for Australia. Australia all over Fiji now on the attack. Oh, I think this Fiji side are down and out. We just have to try and survive now. Australia, Vanavulu's got it. He's made a big difference since he's come on. Is this going to be a turnover for Fiji? Yes, another brilliant steal by Fiji. Well done, boys. Well done. And Eddie Jones looking frustrated there, the Docker. He's speaking to his guys, trying to get them fired up. I think he made that steal. It's not his first steal of the game. I'm pretty sure about that. We've got 8 minutes left. I'm at the stage now where I'm almost willing to give up my over 22.5 just for the Super Brew point. Betting suspended at the moment. 8 minutes to go. I'm not sure that betting will update anymore from here because, of course, you don't have much time now, and a lot of bookies do suspend in the last 10 minutes. Right. A couple of comments coming in. Let's see who's lurking around there. Keaton's come in. He says the Australia comeback is on. Keaton, I'd have to agree with you there. It certainly does look as though it's on at the moment. And yeah, the SAR saying, how can Fiji only be 7 ahead, dirty wallabies? Yes. And Kamal saying, hang on, Fiji. Yes, they've got a line out just inside the Australian half of a decent touch finder from the penalty. Can they get a line-up ball? No, they can't. They knock it back, and Aussie gets it. This is awful from Fiji. This is absolutely awful. They cannot control the ball. And Australia could still win this game. I'm telling you that right now. Karabetti with a massive run up to the 22. And Australia hot on the attack here. It looks like it could be a turnover to Fiji. No, Australia have got the ball. Fiji penalty again. Thank goodness. Unbelievable turnovers here by Fiji. But I tell you what, they are absolutely hanging on. They don't have a line out at the moment. This is terrible from Fiji at the moment. I mean, they're literally throwing the ball straight to the Australians. He's not even virtually going up for it. The captain making a good tackle there on Karabetti. Let's see who gets in there. Ooh, is it a bit of shoulder there by the 15? Ooh, looks, they didn't go back and look at that. It wasn't to head, but it didn't look like arms from the 15, and I was a bit worried they'd go back and have a look at that, which could well have been the end of Fiji, I can tell you. Have a look, see if Betxchange are updating the betting still. No, the betting's down. So I think we're probably done for betting at the moment. So let's have a look. Yeah, turnovers are unbelievable stuff from Fiji, but let's hope they can win a line out. They're in the Aussie half now. No, sorry, they're in their own half, but they just haven't got any line-up ball. I mean, their turnovers have been amazing, but they're not doing the basics. And it's amazing. Oh, there, well done. He took it, and a good maul. Come on, we need a penalty here. Australia on the back foot. Fiji mauling this ball strongly to make it into the Australian half. They just don't want to turn this over. Fiji mauling it up strong. It's stopped once. They're basically on the halfway line. See Fiji. Oh, God, a terrible tackle. Terrible pass from Fiji. He passed to no one there. I mean, this is frustration of the highest order. Yeah, he's going to kick it now, the scrummy. Managed to scramble back Fijians, and he's going to kick it up, and hopefully there'll be a decent chase. But just happy to get the ball out of the Fiji half there. Korobetti's got it. What's he going to do? He kicks it upfield. There's 3 Fijians running back for it. I hope they don't flip and run into each other. And please don't kick it direct because you run out the 22. There's a long kick upfield. Mark takes it. This man's dangerous. He's kicking as well. Surprised to see Australia kicking as much of this at this stage because ultimately they do need to score a try, and this looks like it'll go out from Fiji and a very good clearance. Australia going to take it quick. Mark throws it in. Looks like is it Donaldson or Marzon? Oh, shit, that was a difficult one to catch. Fiji catch it in their own 22, run it out, and kick it upfield. I think this aerial ping pong suits Fiji now. I mean, there's only 4 minutes left. Donaldson's got the ball. Will he stick it up in the air again? He's looking for a 50-22, but he just finds the Fijian. So I'm not looking good from over 22.5 here, unfortunately. I don't like losing money, guys. A good, well-driven kick. And Korobeti's going to kick it. I'm not sure what Aussie are playing at all. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you'd think Aussie were leading the game here. They're kicking it out a lot. Now Fiji could from their 22. I'm actually quite happy this goes out to touch. It's a very good kick. And it does. It could actually be a 50-22 for the Aussies. I mean, for the Fijians. No, not according to the touch judge. Gee, that must have been very close. Australia take it quickly, running it out, and then defeats the object a bit. They take it quickly, run it to the far wing, and then kick it out. So we've got a line out now for Fiji just inside, well, by the 10-meter line in Australia half. So interesting tactics here by Australia. Take a quick throw and then end up kicking the ball out. So I also wanted to see if this was a 50-22. It looks like they're having another look at it. No, it wasn't. It bounced just outside the 22. The Fijian team thought it was a 50-22. Take this line-up ball now, guys. There's 4 minutes left. You can close things down and hopefully get a penalty for my overs. Right, Fiji have got the ball. The reserve hooker's making a run. The ref's arm went out, but I think he was just shot. Oh, gosh, they've lost. Oh, I think the ref's got, knock on. Australia knock on. I got excited there. I thought it was perhaps a penalty for Fiji. But we got the Australia knock on. And my best case scenario here, probably wouldn't be kickable, but my best case scenario would be a Fiji penalty and they go for the posts. Brendan, you're on the under 23.5. You're looking pretty good there, mate. We've got now only 3 minutes left. There's no ways Australia are winning this game, but the draw is still an option on the table. So let's see what happens there. Let's do one more giveaway. I've got a pen and paper here. I should have been writing down the names of the people who won, but I haven't done. We'll see if we can hit one of the other South African guys in now. I'll tell you what, I'll do it right at the end of the game. We got, I think, another Australia replacements on. Gee, they must have gone through their bench now. And let's just see what Fiji can do in the scrums. Their lineouts have been an absolute shambles here towards the end of the game. I must say, an absolute shambles. Ooh, what's happening? Oh, he's resetting the scrum. I was waiting for him to give a penalty. I thought to Australia, but could even have possibly gone to Fiji. I don't think the Fijian can kick it from here if they do get the penalty. So it looks like, and early in the week, there was 20.5 Fiji available. So I'm pretty annoyed with myself for not taking the 20.5. The Sar says he's going to get his hair into a tight perm like Noah. Yes, I'd love to see that, Sar. And Australian crowd looking pretty glum at the moment, I must admit. And Fiji just winding the clock down. 2 minutes left. If they can get a penalty out, fancy they might go for posts. I don't know. It would be a long kick, and I think their 9 might have got it, but I'm not sure. But why am I already talking about a Fiji penalty? Why, I ask you? I thought they got one there. But anyway, they're running the ball. The 13, the skipper's through. Go, boy! Pass it to the winger. Go! Go, the number 23. Oh, God. Oh, jeez, it's out. It's out. In the Aussie 22, the Fiji look good. Man, Australia are going to have to run it from here. I just have to somehow hope Fiji can do something. I guess Aussie might actually just be happy with the bonus here. Bring it down to the game as well. But, great break by the Fiji skipper. Good pass. Number 23. He's, what's his name again? He's done very well since he's been on. Vinaya Habosi. He's made some good steal. Well, he's done some good stuff. Now, Australia are going to have to run it out of here. They're in their own 22. They've got a line out. Let's see what happens. They throw it. Ooh, just take it. And now they're going to have to run it out. Ballatini takes it up into contact. This is where I need a Fijian penalty now. Just over the ball. But it looks like Australia are going to kick it out. I think they're saying, give me a bonus point. That appears to be what Australia are saying here. Nice kick out. And it's only a minute to go now. Fiji going to slow things down. I think this could be the game. Mixed feelings for me because I hit my Super Group point. And let's face it, it's a pretty big pool we're playing for there. But at the end of the day, unfortunate not happy about the fact that I've lost the Fiji overs. There's an outside chance still, I guess. They would have to get a penalty off this line out or something. But obviously at the moment, and the time is up, Fiji are just going to hoof this ball into the stands if they're in control of it. Let's have a look. They take the ball at 2. They're going to maul now. This is where Australia might infringe and cause a penalty, but I don't think Fiji would be able to. Fiji are going to run it. Let's have a look. Australia look to be hanging on you. Oh, they've knocked it on. They've knocked it on. I don't know, guys. I mean, great performance by Fiji. Let's take nothing away. But they should have put this Australian side properly to bed. And my over 22.5 points should have arrived. So a bit grumpy on the game. I've lost money. But I lacked the courage. Someone in the early on said, what about the +5.5? That was the bet here, Fiji, or even Fiji to win the game outright. They really have played superbly. Time is up, so basically that will be it now as far as Fiji go. My only hope now for my Fiji points would be Australia to run it out and pass an intercept pass to a Fijian who delivers the overs. But anyway, guys, we're coming to the end of this broadcast. The first time we're ever doing this. I don't know if it's something we might try to do a little bit more in the World Cup. I don't know if guys get any value out of it or not. Well, there's a Fiji big scrum and they get a penalty. Now, will they try and take the bonus point away from Oz? I suppose if they're clever, they will. I think they should, but I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to. They should go for posts here, I think, because you want to take the bonus point away from Oz. Because Wales beat you. Yes, you got a bonus. I know they just want the win, but I don't know. I would say, I mean, the chances of Aussie running it back at you from behind the 22. Go for posts. Go for posts. I think he signaled for posts. No? What's he signaled? See, I would go for posts here. You need to stop Aussie getting the bonus points. There's messages coming down from the top. Let's see what's going to happen here. This is fascinating. Coyle, you're on the edge of your seat here. I can't see what's going to happen. They're showing the crowd, and oh no, they're going for posts. This is a very good decision, a very brave decision, because obviously it keeps the ball alive. But he's got to kick this now. This is for my overs, guys. This is it. Yeah, I'm very impressed that they made this decision. I didn't expect it. I thought they would just kick the ball out quickly and take the win. But this is to stop Aussie getting a bonus point. This could be the difference between Aussie or Fiji going through to the semi-finals. Let's have a look. I'll tell you straight away. We're watching from the angle I like from behind. If it's the same oak, he's going to have to start it out right. Oh, God, he's hooked it wildly. Absolutely wildly. But he's kicked it out, and that's the end of the game. Oh, come on. Not even a chance. Anyway, guys, let's wrap that up. I mean, financially, not the best game for me. I did lose my bets on that one. But, yeah, I'd have to say Fiji got the win. A very, very impressive win. And let's do a draw there. I see there's still a few South African guys in the chat. As you say, Ken, very good decision from Fiji. It didn't pay off in the end. We'll do a draw, and hopefully between us we'll get to the 5 or so. Let's make this the last draw. And Stephen Marks wins the voucher. Stephen, there goes the Wi-Fi. Okay, I think I'm back. Yeah, guys, thanks very much for those who watched. Well done to Fiji. It was a great win. Coyle, well done on your unders and your under 23.5. It certainly wasn't the overs game that many of us were expecting, but certainly a strong performance by Fiji. Thanks to Betxchange for the vouchers. Much appreciated. And yeah, maybe we'll do a few more of these as the World Cup goes along. Probably pick one game on the weekend and see if we can grow it a bit. Maybe I'll get someone else to come and commentate with me or something like that, so I don't get dry lips by the end. But thanks, everyone. It's been great chatting to you, and well done to Fiji. And now my mouse doesn't want to work. Can you believe it? One of those days, guys.